Hello, welcome. It's Saturday, January the 24th, 2026. Welcome to another episode of Have a Say 247. My name is Rudolph Okonkwo.
This is a primary school and even a junior secondary school in one of the states in northeast Nigeria. Okay, it may interest you to know that this is the GS1 class. Am I right?
Yes.
This is GS1 class, and then this is what? Primary what? This is primary 4 and 5. Please come close. Let us see the building. Let us see the board. This is primary 4 and 5. And then we will go to the other classes. Please let us see the building. This is what they have as building. And then we have primary 3 and 4 here. This is primary 3 and 4. We have the primary 1 here, or the KG. And then there we have primary what here? Primary 1 is here. And KG. Okay? And then it may interest you to know that this is a school that is under the state government. Like I said, it's one of the states in northeast Nigeria. I wouldn't want to mention the state, so that the state will not see us as putting them in bad light. We are calling on well-meaning Nigerians to support these children. It may also interest you to know that the children in this community are up to 250. So there are 250 children.
An Onuga statement very early this morning said no ambassador for Turkey yet. And I can imagine what has happened. First, the bureaucracy in Aso Rock just realized, after the president has named him as ambassador to Turkey, because the president wants to go to Turkey in a few days, that the nominee wasn't screened. And that the president cannot appoint an ambassador that has not been screened by the Senate.
He wasn't even nominated.
He wasn't even nominated. They just realized. Matt, let me tell you how big the bureaucracy, the civil service in the villa is. It's so big they have a permanent secretary. The villa presidency has a permanent secretary in the presidency. So the villa operates more like a ministry. They have the people that work in the villa, the people that go to work in the villa. They can cause go slow for bus stop. But so much, a lot of people work in the presidency. And they bungled this one again. They have given the president a name to appoint as ambassador of somebody who was not nominated, not screened as an ambassador designate. He has now been posted to Turkey, where the president intends to visit in a few days. And they realized it just after, the names have been published. They bungle things. I don't know what they do in the villa, but it is a story of gross incompetence, ineptitude of people paid by taxpayers to do simple jobs. Sometimes these jobs are as simple as clerical work. It doesn't require thinking. Some of these policy formulations we see in the villa, it doesn't require too much thinking. It's just simple clerical work. Write a thing together and type it. And they still bungle it.
The truth is this: we promise radical reforms.
And that has radical implication on the pockets of the average person.
Which average person? You pick this for the matter of the people. No. Have you gone to see people complaining? There are Nigerians now who are saying food is becoming too cheap. Cost of living is what now? It's higher now?
No, I'm saying that from the time the president got into office and the policies.
Commissioner Callas, we are witnessing the descent of the United States into fascism. A president who rejects election results, incites insurrection, attacks the judiciary and the media, has an armed militia intimidating minorities, who kidnaps foreign leaders and threatens the sovereignty of others. If Trump smells weakness from the EU, it's because when the US or Israel break international law, we look the other way. History has taught all of us that the only thing a bully understands is strength and resolve. That means suspending the EU-US trade agreement, invoking the anti-coercion instrument, and standing by what we mean when we say never again. As an Irish MEP, I say this: the Taoiseach cannot engage in national humiliation on St. Patrick's Day in the White House. It's time to bury the cartoon Irish-American myth. No to the Shamrock ceremony. No to the US military use of Shannon. Yes to European solidarity and to the Primacy Commissioner of International Law.
And in Nigeria, we're annihilating terrorists who are killing Christians. We've hit them very hard. They've killed thousands and thousands of Christians. What's that all about?
West African countries.
Jambo, Kenya, Ubari, Tanzania, Pamoja, Uganda.
Regarding what you said yesterday about East Africa, Tanzania, Kenya, and Uganda, people didn't like exactly, but maybe you have something to tell them to clarify.
Look, I didn't say it to harm anybody, but I said it as a challenge to those countries. Believe me, in the 80s, Cote d'Ivoire was more developed than Morocco. But today, you are in Morocco. You could go to any of the venues in top highways by speed train, by rail, by bus, everything first class. Then I expect Sub-Saharan Africa to reach to that level. Honestly speaking, my country hosted the AFCON before Morocco. But you leave the capital city, Abidjan, you go to the other cities, you have a challenge of finding even hotel. Of course, the road might be good to take you there, but they are not highways. You spend a lot of time. And of course, I've been to Eastern Africa. I know you have infrastructure, but like most West African countries, when you leave the capital city, the remaining part of the country, it's a bush. That's the reality. And you don't have top-class stadium. That's the reality. How many times the CHAN was postponed? Because of lack of proper infrastructure. And remember, in '96, AFCON was given to Kenya. Because they were not ready, it went to South Africa. And at the moment we're speaking, the three countries are not properly ready. And Morocco have raised the bar so high. You are in Morocco. Then from now on, we don't want to expect anything less. That's why I said what I say. Morocco hosted because Guinea failed to do it. They were not ready. That's why I ask the question, in case you fail or there is more delay, what is going to happen? Obviously, it will be taken from the three countries. I was there for the CHAN. And on top of that, Kenya doesn't have apply visa to any African citizen, but Tanzania does. Uganda does. It was a nightmare for fun even to move around. Those are critical issues. That's why I say, if you guys are not ready, obviously it will be taken away from you.
As a journalist, more experienced, maybe you can advise what they're supposed to do right now to make sure by the time comes, they are ready for it.
Look, for example, in Cote d'Ivoire, let me give you an example. 3 months before the AFCON, the Minister of Sport was fired, the Prime Minister was fired. Why? Because the pitch, soccer pitch, was not right. The government invested a lot of money, it went a different way. Now, first rate, the pitch became a swimming pool. And look at Morocco. We came in the rain. The day of the opening ceremony, it was raining throughout the day, throughout the night. But we could see the ball rolling like on a carpet. We expect something like that in the 3 eastern countries, not less. You understand? And of course, here also, every city I've been, you find a 3-star hotel, a 4-star hotel, a 5-star hotel at a reasonable price. Then the AFCON, it's on the pitch and outside the pitch. The external facilities also are very important. When you're hosting, you have to build a proper network. Here, with the train, you can go everywhere. It's not the case in Cote d'Ivoire, and I don't think it's the case in Eastern Africa, where you can go to every city in train. Then there is a lot of work to do around the AFCON. And if you do less than Morocco, believe me, everybody will criticize you bitterly than what I am saying now. Now I am just making a suggestion, but the critic will come in 2027. And believe me, if you're lacking, CAF will have no sentiment. They will take it away because they have done it so many times already. Even as I mentioned, they did it to Kenya already in the past.
By the way, what you're saying here, it's like you don't find practical the idea of CAF having the Zono, like different countries from the Zono, to prepare a major tournament. Maybe it may be Chan, AFCON, whenever, or under 17, under 20. You don't like that kind of idea?
No, the idea is great, but the countries must be perfectly ready to host. Today, CAF has reached another level. You can see so many countries are watching this AFCON, the facilities. And the judgment, the critics, is not Africa. It's the rest of the world. That's why we want the best for Africa. Anybody can host, as President Motsepe said it. African football is for everybody, for the 54 countries. But if you want to host, you must be ready. You must prepare your country for it, and you must build proper infrastructure. And let me tell you, sport will take millions of youth out of the street. But in most of our countries, we don't even have proper sport facilities for the youth to play. You drive here in Morocco, even at night they are playing football everywhere. That's what I want for sub-Saharan Africa.
No, this rally make my blood pressure go up.
So you should get a filter sometimes, filter your thoughts before you say.
I'll continue to take blood pressure medication.
Why are you getting high blood pressure, Janaba? Now,
I'm not taking medication for myself. I'm taking it for people like some of you guys that after the January, February something, and then people like Soludo, that is a good spoiler. I thank God for his life. He's working for my.
And I am ready to die defending Nigeria in whatever way. When it is God's time for us to go, it is. And
you took my time to God. You are ready to defend Nigeria. I gave you my time.
No, I'm coming.
Alexi, hold on. You already started.
What I'm saying, defending Nigerians is this.
I gave him my time and he's using it to become a...
No, sorry. Sorry.
I hope that Nigeria wins. I'm never going to wish any president evil so that I can say I told you so. No, I won't wish them evil. I hope. You see, I'm not praying. There's no point. I can't pray for Nigeria to be fine. I only hope that Nigeria wins and Nigerians win. Because if you choose a dodgy doctor who has a dodgy record, who has, all sort of accusations leveled against him, to say this doctor, we think he's done this, or this doctor, this surgeon, yes, he's a senior surgeon, he's the most whatever surgeon, but there are a lot of accusations leveled against him. If you choose him to operate on you, and you tell me to pray for you that it doesn't kill you surgery, what's the point? I can't pray. You might make it, you might not make it. My prayer won't change anything. So I hope Nigeria and Nigerians win during Tinubu's 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you.
Uncle, right? I have the right to address Showore the way I like. You don't know what Showore did to me. So learn to control your emotion, right? That's the only thing I'm going to tell you. But if you don't want to control your emotion and you insult me here, I'm going to insult you 100%.
Okay.
You understand? You cannot insult me on a normal ground. Fiscally, you can't insult me, right? I will treat you like a child. If you insult me physically, I will handle you like a child. I don't care your age. Do you understand? You are powerful over the camera, so you can say whatever you want to say, but you can't yet say it to me physically. You understand? I will handle you like a kid.
Can we arrest the meeting ground? Can we arrest the meeting ground?
So learn to control your emotion. You understand?
Please don't take him out. I also have a right to respond because you mentioned my name. There's no need to take him out. All you have to do is to meet them or something. And you're taking too long to manage them.
Comment.
What did you say?
Comment.
I know, but he mentioned my name, so I'm asking to respond to him.
When he gets your time,
No. He mentioned my name.
If you want to make it rowdy, I will take you out.
Take me out, you son of a bitch. Take me out. You think you're a big boy because you're moderating.
Take him out, please.
Hello, come on. Don't use such word now.
Don't forget, that state is now an oil-producing state. So they now have derivation, if you are not aware. So if you want to speak for anybody, please do not defend a Kalata like a Yabelo. Please do not.
Okay, let me respond to him. 1 second.
Do not defend a Kalata like a Yabelo. Do not.
All right, thank you, Mohammed.
The people of that state.
Can I respond to him?
No.
Then go to hell. Rudolph, go to hell.
All right.
Rudolph, I've never seen this part of him before.
Tinubu is a criminal, yes, of course, a categorical grade 1 criminal. The only person more criminal than Tinubu in Nigeria is probably Babangida. But he's a criminal, and is he fit for purpose? Absolutely not. Should Tinubu be the president of Nigeria? Categorical no. Is there a better option than him? That is subjective. So show me who he
is. Please, I want Soli to tell us who are the fools on this panel.
I consider you a fool. Yeah.
On this panel, yeah. Who are the fools?
I will explain the foolish statement that you made. When you were talking about Showore.
I made a foolish statement.
Yes, you did.
You must be very stupid if you don't know how to respect your elder. You are very, very stupid. Are you crazy? You must be very stupid to use that word on your elders. Am I your mate? You're a very stupid boy. Can you learn how to talk?
If you cannot handle it, don't ask me.
Can you learn how to talk?
Mute your mic.
See, don't be fooled with the comment section hype. So
excuse me.
Okay, hold on,
so
guys.
I expected you to ask him to withdraw that word. Nobody is a fool on this panel.
Okay, hold on.
Stupid. Can you call your?
Okay, hold on, everybody. I know we are ranting.
Can you call your father a fool?
No, hold on.
If my father behaves like you, yes, I would.
No, please, everybody, calm down. All right, welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate all of you. Today is Saturday, I'm sure you can see me. You can hear me at least. Okay, welcome everybody. Thank you. It's Saturday, January the 24th, 2026. Here in New York, it's very calm. It's actually, we see the sunlight out there, but that is the calm before the storm. Today is going to be very interesting day because snow is coming. I think it started in the southern part of America already, and over about 200 million people will be impacted today. So I hope those who are in America, you stay safe, stay indoors if you don't have to go out there. We are back again on this Saturday to look at issues in the news. Historians are beginning to say that January 2026 will be remembered as the time, the day, the period, the month, the world changed. If you guys followed what happened in the last few weeks, within the last few weeks, you will see the position of America in the world shifting. In fact, everything we know about the world changed this month, to the point that today, the United Kingdom, the Prime Minister, is demanding that Donald Trump should apologize to the UK for saying that UK soldiers were, let me get the exact quotes, they stayed a little off the front line, which essentially was saying that they didn't fight in Afghanistan, they were just there. Even our Kemi, the shadow prime minister, the leader of the Conservatives, also demanded an apology from Trump. Of course, we saw what happened with his quest.
Could you try again?
With his quest to get control of Greenland. He ended up when he went to Switzerland for the World Economic Forum. He ended up changing his position, saying that the matter has been resolved. But we know that the Europeans, for the first time, fought back and pushed back, and Trump didn't know what to do other than to make a U-turn. So we're going to talk about that, the wider implications of what happened. People are standing up to Trump now across the world, and people are assessing the position of America, whether it has been working by all this. So we touch on that. We talk about, come back to Nigeria, where kidnapping continues unabated. We had incidents. One of them was in Kaduna, where we had the government trying to deny that it happened. Eventually, they accepted that it happened. And in political news, people are moving around and moving along, trying to position themselves for 2027. We saw the courts still dealing with the Labour Party and what's going on there. We also had that an ambassador was named, former governor of Kaduna State was named, an ambassador, Usman Dankagari was named ambassador to Turkey, and then the government turned around and said, no, forget about it. We made a mistake. He was not appointed. I mean, he wasn't screened. We don't know how they run Aso Rock and what is going on there. So a lot of things are going on. We are going to discuss them with our friends who are already here. Most of them are here. If you are joining us, please, if you're in the studio, turn on your camera. We'll bring you on. And again, thank you all for joining. Those watching at home, we appreciate you. Those who are in the comment section, I see you. Please, if you don't mind, please like or share so that more people will get to watch what we're doing today. Thank you again for joining us. I appreciate all of you. All right. Okay. It's off. Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for being here. For those in America, I hope you're staying indoors. Those outside of America, you can laugh at us. We are seeing what they saw in Russia last week, I think. So this is they're thinking about 8 to 24 inches of snow from Atlanta all the way to New England. So it's going to touch more than 200 million people. But let's start by welcoming all of you. Thank you so much for being here. I know you have to leave very soon, so I'll give you a chance to tell us what you've been following and what's happening around you.
Yeah, I just appeared to wish you all a good evening from the Gambia. I will not be able to stay with you today because I've got a function to attend somewhere with some children. That's just it. Is it true that some people, I read in the newspaper, they were talking about the amalgamation of Nigeria? I read it somewhere.
Amalgamation?
No, de-amalgamation.
Oh, de-amalgamation. Okay. I didn't know about that.
I read it somewhere.
Who's doing that? It's Lugard back?
No, to de-amalgamate.
Yeah, I'm saying Frederick Lugard, is he back to do the...
They want to undo what he has done.
Yeah, I'm saying, is he the one doing it?
No, maybe he's back spiritually, I don't know.
All right.
Anyway, I'm so sorry. I will not be able to be with you today because I have to take some children to somewhere for a function.
Okay. No problem, Mr. James.
Thank you so much indeed.
Thank you. We always appreciate you. Have a nice time.
Yeah. Thank you.
Recolonization. Welcome to the show.
Mr. Paul.
Good evening, Mr. James. Thank you very much.
Thank you for thanking me.
Yeah, enjoy yourself to where you are going.
Okay.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Rudolph and the brothers and the viewers at home, sisters, everybody who is watching. Anyway, for me, it's another day in the history of Nigeria. And I mean, you have showed everything, all the big things in the news you have highlighted. I'm just waiting to throw my own stone at the targets,
Remind me where you are. I forgot. Is it? I know it's Europe. Where in Sweden? Is it?
Sweden, Stockholm.
Okay.
You've been talking about snow. We have been having snow here too. All along, it's very cold.
It doesn't matter if it happens in Sweden. It's only when it happens in America. Not just every part of America, New York. Then it becomes a big issue,
But we have been almost a week now or 2 weeks now. We've been having heavy snow.
Wow.
And the temperature has fallen up to sometimes -8, -9. So we are used to it anyway.
I know. So let me ask you before we start. All the things that happened this week in Europe with the World Economic Forum, how did it play in your part of the world, in Sweden?
Sweden is they don't really like what Trump is doing. Basically, they think he's going to the extreme, especially Greenland. Greenland is in the Scandinavian area. Denmark, we are close to Denmark here. We are the Scandinavians, Denmark, Norway, Finland, Sweden, and so they are not happy about it. But Trump is the greatest of all time. He's trying to shape in everything, wake everybody up. I personally support him. There are some people sleeping, Yeah, thank you.
All right. Abure, welcome to the show.
Assalamu alaikum, Jama.
What did I miss?
I don't know. I should be asking you because so they say though there's madness, there's method to the madness. I'm trying to quote Shakespeare, but I don't forget I'm a product of Monday Paolo. But the point is that the whole world has come to the understanding that the man they refer as clown is not, there's method to the clownishness and to this irrationalness that some people want to see. So I mean the world is taking shape. But I don't know what did happen because I'm focused. I'm trying to figure out where we did, going if you listen to McConnell, the Prime Minister, National Prime Minister, even our President of Canada, when he said that if we are not on the table, we are the menu. And that reminds me of the very first time when the world, in the modern days, where they won't go through this period, during the Industrial Revolution between the mid-70s to mid-1800, we were the main menu. They ship us in mass to go work for farm and supersede us on our own land. So we were the main menu then. But now we know we are not middle power. We know who get power at us. So I'm trying to figure out: are we part of the menu? If we are we a dessert, as they call them for America, or a side dish? So where are we there for the menu? because we never understand where they come yet. We see we are still caught up in the madness, right? But those middle power don't realize they come. This is no longer clownishness. This is no longer about this man. This is the new world. So, and it's obvious to them that they are a menu. Whether they like it or not, it's too late. They are the menu. So us, where we dey? I think I would water they take wash hand when they don't talk finish. So that's why I'm just my head bet on that, to trying to figure out exactly what is our own leadership actually doing. On a more serious note, Bola Tinubu come back. I was glad he came back. Bomb no complain and come back as if he got a deal, going by the New York Times headline. So, but still, I can't figure out where these men because they are feeling it. The reality is telling on every one of them, but I don't know what is going on.
All right. We'll get to that. I think that will be our first topic. We will actually, because I think the Prime Minister of Canada made a speech that will be remembered for the next 50 years. That was a very, I used to read a magazine, not a magazine, kind of a small printout in the library. It's called Vital Speeches. And I always wonder who picks this. Someone will pick the speeches, most important speeches made in the world every month, and publish it in that. If you have any public library, go. I don't know if they say printed, but it's called Vital Speeches. And I always feel like, one day I'll pick a speech and I'll say, this should be here. I think that speech will be in that journal. And this is wonderful. I'll play a little bit of that when we get into that conversation. But we are going to talk about that because it's very important. We may not know. This is exactly the point. The world changed. All right, AY.
Good morning, everyone. I was also interested in that Canada Prime Minister speech. Definitely a brilliant one. Those are the kind of leader I think the world needs right now. With the madness going on, people praising Trump for his foolishness. Your guest last week, he was really annoying when it comes to the politics. I was unable to come in, where he kept praising Trump. Trump gave power quietly and left. He repeated that like twice. Nobody challenged him. We need to, Trump did not give power peacefully. I don't know if you forgot what happened on January 6th. Trump is, it's just sad that we have people praising this guy, supporting him for their own selfish foolishness. The world are standing up for him now. I mean, the Canada Prime Minister is forming new alliance across board with China, with Australia. This is what you're going to see because Canada was the closest ally to America. For years, Canada and America, you can't really distinguish them. The Europe, they are standing up for him.
But we know they hear AY.
Oh, you can't hear me?
No, we can hear you.
Now you know the hear him. There's too much to know where you did.
I can hear you.
Okay, so with the threat all over the Europe now, they are standing up for him. Last week he threatened he was gonna put in tariff again. When you saw what happened, if you trade in American stock market, you know what's going on. The market collapsed in one day. So he went back and said, no, I'm gonna remove it, I'm suspending it. These are all foolishness. You can't keep invading countries in the name of you are a superpower. Yes, America is superpower, but you need to respect people's sovereignty. You need to respect people's borders. So when he saw the world, nobody was laughing, then he has to move back and change his plan. The other thing we need to be looking at for now is the threat to Iran. Iran are also out there telling him, if you throw a missile into our country, we are going to throw whatever we have. He needs to stop. He needs to stop because he's not doing this thing for the good of the people of the country. It's for his own selfish interest. With Iran, you know, if we know the history, what happened, how America kicked out the elected government before they bring in the Shah regime. The Shah regime, Iran were really angry with the regime. They kicked them out, and that's where you have what the leadership in Iran right now. So we need to know all this history. As the case of Nigeria, yeah, we got issues in Nigeria. Trump is definitely not interested in Nigerians. He's basically interested in deals. Like somebody rightly said, I feel there is a deal going on with Nigeria government. They are not going to tell the people. Definitely, Tinubu, he knows how to strike deal. I think he's going to be much interested in that deal with Trump, but hopefully he's not going to send Nigeria out. With the politics going on in Nigeria too, I think the Kano governor just decamped to APC. I think that's also a topic. The issue of the vice president, if they are going to replace Shetima, I think that should be a topic too, because it's a lot of politics going on right now. Daddy. So we shall see. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. That Shetima, yeah, that's a big issue. We will touch on that hopefully. Paul, welcome to the show. Paul, can you hear me?
Sorry, I'm trying to take my mute off and over that thing. Just on the soft side, it may not be entertainment, but it kind of fall into the entertainment and speculation aspect. The Kemi Oluloyo and the video saga. Yeah.
Why are you? Who is Kemi to you?
Kemi Oluloyo, it's just somebody who I would call.
Paul, say the truth. I'm the age mate. Say the truth.
Who is Kemi? I'm talking about why she matters. Is she a journalist? Is she? What is she?
She's an acclaimed journalist.
She's an insider. She's an insider. Papa now one of the power brokers. That's very important.
Yeah, that is true. Then Kemi Oluloyo from small, they took him to UK. From the UK, find himself in the US. Maybe he couldn't cope in the UK. Then they send her to the US for study. Then she just flip-flop here and there.
She was also in Canada. She was also in Canada, Paul.
Yeah, she was deported in Canada to Nigeria. You understand? And then she was in the US, then moved to Canada. From Canada, then they deport her to Nigeria. So right now she claims
the former governor for your state too.
Yes. Yeah. So she claimed that she is in the US, but to some extent, I don't really believe she is in the US because she was never a citizen in the US before she moved to Canada. Then when she moved to Canada, got deported, and you know the game. So she might lose her green card for the many years that she's been in Nigeria. But she has 3 kids who are US citizens. And the last one just went back to New York for schooling. She took the last one back to Nigeria. So when it's time for him to go to college, and went back to New York for college. So I don't know, but she's claiming that she's in the US, but never show any proof at all she's in the US. To some extent, she may be in Ghana, because to some extent, she speaks much, much better about Ghana. And she's claiming, I'm in the US, because she knows she has a lot of enemy with all the scandal that she's bringing out. So to make people not to think how we can get her, like the way she was arrested in River State, you know, and every other thing. So she's just pretending here and there and every other thing. So it was funny when this banter is coming and every other thing. So I sent that one to her. I said, Kemi, I know you are not in the US, you are in Ghana. She blocked me. It was funny because everybody just naturally believed that she was in the US. But I know for many years, she got deported in Canada, stayed in Nigeria for over 10 years. And she said she was never a US citizen. Yes, kids may fight for her. They may push. She might get it. But since she claims she's in the US, no proof. That she never show any proof, any slight proof to show that I'm in the US. So that's kind of funny. and everything. So that's on the Kevin side. So you know the way she's breaking all this. She's our Nigerian TMC kind of. So not journalist, but she's just a TMC.
One woman TMC.
Yeah, if you look at very well. So I'll try to answer your question, Dr. Dayaz. Is she a journalist? No, she's just a TMC.
Okay.
So what she does, she picked the other side of the news, you understand, but she's a good communicator. Then she stands strong. She's that good student who knows how to debate very well. Then she stands tall or needs to debate. And while she's debating, of course, naturally, people want to listen, whether she's making sense or she's not making sense, then she's cashing out. That's a strategy on its own. You understand? She's cashing out. So it was funny, but the way she blocked me when I said, Kemi, I know you're in Ghana, you are not in the US. If you are in the US, she'll prove. So 2 days ago, then she wear one of the hoodies and everything. I was just laughing. I was just laughing. I said, okay, now Kemi want to use this sweatshirt to show that she's in the US. But I don't have any evidence that she's in the US, but I just want to do her the kind of thing that she does to people. And it's not like I have any information where she is and everything. So it was just funny, but I was just talking about, I said, Kevin is so lucky. If I'm that person who have big platform and say this kind of thing, that maybe so many people will pick it up. Now they want to dig deep to know whether maybe she may even be in Nigeria. You never can tell. But she's just fraud.
But that story, why is the father of Davido involved in explaining things? Why is that so important?
Kemi has been hard on that family for a very, very long time. But what the father involved himself with this Davido thing, to some extent, I don't support. Davido is a grown man and everything. And this is Nigeria. If I want to play the devil's advocate, Davido can compromise anybody. In Nigeria, somebody wants to come and take just a swap from your mouth and everything. If I tell that person who is earning $100,000, I'm going to give $10,000 right away. This is the money right now. And everything. Won't that person even swallow my spit and put his own spit there? This is Nigeria that we are talking about. You understand? But to some extent, the father also made claim that for several tests that they did, the same kind of analysis came with two different places. Is it that they plant somebody in two different labs that will have the same kind of DNA? That makes sense and everything. But I just understand that this shows where our country is not working. These are issues by now. The government should have come in and made an independent umpire, carry out all these things and everything. Because Davido is big. You understand? And if you are big in Nigeria, you can get away with anything. You understand? So sometimes you can play the devil's advocate. I feel for the Davido's family, and I equally feel for that young girl that the system failed both sides. Because if the system don't fail both sides, these things would have been a thing of the end for a very, very long time. Then the young kid himself, who is going through all the pains and everything, we just have a system that our biggest issue is trust. You can't trust anything that comes out from us and everything. It's so painful, and I don't know what to say. Talking about politics here.
We have not started discussing, just to point things, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Right, so that makes me laugh a lot.
Okay, let's go to Chim. Chim, go ahead.
Hey, doctor, to make you understand, I already drive my bicycle this morning for 1 hour. I forgot
that you're in a place that we envy now. Everybody.
I enjoy my life. Enjoy my life.
Okay, all right. Enjoy. Go ahead, Chim.
All right, good morning, Rudolph. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Very well. So, how much centimeter of snow have you received?
No, we haven't. Nothing. Zero. It's wonderful out there.
And you're making noise. You've not received.
We are preparing. If you go to the stores in New York City, everything is gone. We are thinking that the world is ending.
I live inside it every day, so I don't know what the noise is.
You guys don't matter now. We are. If we close down, the economy of the world closes.
Really? Okay. Anyway, so I don't know all of you who are making noise. Our revolutionary said this has been receiving 8 - 8. I've been living in -31. Going about my life. No school is shut down. Work is going on. People are going to play hockey.
What?
People are throwing parties. Life is going on. I don't know why you guys shut down.
9,000 flights have been cancelled. 9,000 flights.
You guys are lazy people.
No, Chim live in deep freezer. Just say,
Exactly.
This
Chim,
demand
they
for
will not
title.
understand when you say minus 30. They will not understand.
Schools
Hey,
are
minus 30. Yeah.
Tim,
We go about it.
I am plus 67 today. Very
Okay,
juicy weather.
luckily, I won't mind switching places with you though. But
I
the
have
point
like
I'm making is,
I have like 3 party today. You understand? This is a party time.
Chim go there inside freezer for like 4 to 5 months straight.
Bro, in Canada, now normal thing. If you want to lock that school in Canada, you just lock it for 4 months.
I don't know why you people are talking about lockdown. Life is going on here. People are going to work. Life moves on. I don't know. You guys are spoiled.
It's still 5 degrees, so it's not even negative. These places, they are shutting down.
Exactly. So, anyway, so I think it's the Russian one that was quite of a surprise for me. I think somebody said that was like a 4-story type of snowfall they received in that particular place. So, but that's unusual, But any other thing I'm hearing is just child's play. You guys should just go about your normal. Unless it's a tornado that is coming, then I can say, okay, sit in the house. But it's just snow. Come on, it's normal life. But to all the topics we spoke about, the Canadian Prime Minister, yes, I can understand why the world will be celebrating McCartney, who his body language did not suit the words that were coming out of his mouth. His body language did not suit what he was saying. I'm not saying he shouldn't make that kind of speech. That's fine. That's okay. I mean, it's what the world wants to hear. That's fine. I understand that. But the guy is a hypocrite, a huge one. Because speak by night, go to Washington speak by day, go to Washington by night. I don't regard you until you start, exactly living what you preach. That's when it starts making sense to me. Right now, he's a hypocrite, and most Canadians know he's a hypocrite. It's just trying to rally global, sound differently. His sound bites don't match his language, don't match his body language. I'm sorry to say that. As for, I think I'm more interested in the Nigerian politics these days, and what it portends for the country as a whole. Everybody, I don't know why everybody is running to APC. I'm surprised that somebody who claimed to be a Democrat, who for many years kept, giving us a soundbite that he's a Democrat, he fought for democracy. And then just last week, something came out that he's trying to give Shagori national honor. The same Shagori that was helping Abacha with loot, the same Shagori, and the same man who said he was fighting Abacha, Shagori was helping Abacha hide his loot. This man said he was helping fight Abacha, and the same man is now giving an Abacha apostle national honor. These things are really very interesting. We live in very interesting times where I don't know, was it you, sir, that even said somewhere you're waiting to see if Wale Soyinka will return his national honor if that happens. Well, like I said, let me repeat it here. That is what new linguists like me refer to as future impossible tense. It's not going to happen because all of these people have just been deceiving us. And that's why, if I want to relate it to global politics, you see that that's why when I get funny, I get surprised when people start praising somebody for one speech. This person is not an honorable person. And then suddenly, because he made one speech somewhere, then the whole world thinks he's the leader we need. No, he's not the leader we need. He's a hypocrite. Let's call out the hypocrite for what he is and say, yeah, speech sounds nice, but you're still a hypocrite. So I'll wait until we start having the conversation. But I'm not really impressed with McCartney. Sorry. I choose to take that different perspective because I live in the economy he's working on, so I know what he's doing.
All right. You'll be very important in that conversation because we need to hear the other side. But someone mentioned on the comment section.
He spoke for the globalists, not for Canada.
Yeah,
exactly. Thank you very much.
Anybody taking it serious at his own risk.
Uche, hold on, okay? Someone mentioned one guy. I show speed. I have no idea who that guy is.
Yes, the guy who went to Nigeria.
I was in class on Thursday, and they were telling me about this American traveling across Africa, and So maybe we'll touch on that. People will
In fact, Rudolph, I was going to say that. Maybe we'll touch on that when you bring it up. There's something I want to tell you about it that relates to what we do in terms of the social media, because it unveils why some people succeed in the space and other people fail.
Why we failed.
Yes, thank you. I'm happy you brought it up.
All right, no problem.
That's the price you pay for sending your son to school. For leaving for house, now for the update you.
Uche, welcome to the show. Uche, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
What part of the world are you? I know you go between Italy, and it looks like your internet is not very good. Can you hear me? All right, Uche cannot hear me. All right, thank you. So let's move straight to our first topic because we have limited time. I really want us to spend time and touch on the global.
I can hear you. Am I coming? Can anyone hear me?
Rudolph, I'll be back shortly.
Okay.
Rudolph, I'll have to come back later. My go also small.
Okay, no wahala. Abure, we will see you.
Can anyone hear me?
Uche, we can't hear you.
Can anyone hear me?
Okay, go ahead, Uche. Let's see.
Yeah, it's like I'm having distraction. Someone is calling me. Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah. Hi.
Am I coming clear?
Yes.
Okay. So should I touch any topic? Maybe I didn't hear you when you call me. When you call me.
We're still doing touching base with people and what are you thinking about? What's important to you? Is there any story that's important?
Yeah. Rudolph Umbedoma, I greet everyone in the panel this evening. So I'm thinking about the issue of Julius Malema because I saw him yesterday standing in the dock in the South African court. Maybe they're trying to sentence him or one or two things, but I don't know the final. Matter there about him. But I joined them on live yesterday. He was on dock with the judge that convicted him. Maybe I don't know if they want to sentence him, but the final this thing I'm trying to understand. I just want to touch on it. Like the issue of Mazen Nandikalo, American are giving him what do you call it? Citizen, like granting him to be a citizen or something like that. So I don't know whether it's real or fake news, but I saw a video.
Who gave him?
Which America? America in Nigeria?
So the issue is that it's like a question that I threw. I said I don't know if it's real because I saw the video trending on social media. So that's what I'm saying. So I don't know because it's going viral. It's going viral seriously. So before I put interest to talk about matter in social media, I must see this such video going viral. But going viral did not maybe satisfy.
All right, Uche, thank you. I think Uche is talking about something that the state of Georgia did. The kind of the way they give you the key to the state, city, or honorary citizenship or something like that. So it's not real citizenship. So, but I know that people in Nigeria might play it up, or people who did not understand what it means. But that's the story I know about. Tony, welcome to the show. Are you driving, Tony? We know we don't let people drive and join us. Are you driving?
Thank you, Dr. Damages. Greetings, everybody. Great to be here.
Am I coming clear?
It's cold here. I am. I'm moving. I'm on motion.
Are you driving?
Yes.
Oh no, we don't let people join us when they are driving. So you just when you get to where you're going, you can join us, please.
Okay.
We don't have insurance.
Okay. I'll join later. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay. All right. So several things happened in the world. Let me just share the link for those who want to join the conversation today. Several things happened in the world in the last 1 month, but this week it became clear, what the direction things are going, and it was captured by the speech made by the Canadian Prime Minister, Mark Carney. He made a speech at the World Economic Forum in Switzerland. Let's watch a little bit of that, and then we will then have the conversation.
It seems that every day we're reminded that we live in an era of great power rivalry, that the rules-based order is fading, that the strong can do what they can and the weak must suffer what they must. And this aphorism of Thucydides is presented as inevitable, as the natural logic of international relations reasserting itself. And faced with this logic, there is a strong tendency for countries to go along to get along, to accommodate, to avoid trouble, to hope that compliance will buy safety. Well, it won't. So what are our options? In 1978, the Czech dissident Václav Havel, later president, wrote an essay called The Power of the Powerless. And in it, he asked a simple question: how did the communist system sustain itself? And his answer began with a greengrocer. Every morning, this shopkeeper places a sign in his window: "Workers of the world unite." He doesn't believe it. No one does. But he places the sign anyway to avoid trouble, to signal compliance, to get along. And because every shopkeeper on every street does the same, the system persists. Not through violence alone, but through the participation of ordinary people in rituals they privately know to be false. Havel called this living within a lie. The system's power comes not from its truth, but from everyone's willingness to perform as if it were true. And its fragility comes from the same source. When even one person stops performing, when the greengrocer removes his sign, the illusion begins to crack. Friends, it is time for companies and countries to take their signs down. For decades, countries like Canada prospered under what we called the rules-based international order. We joined its institutions, we praised its principles, we benefited from its predictability. And because of that, we could pursue values-based foreign policies under its protection. We knew the story of the international rules-based order was partially false, that the strongest would exempt themselves when convenient, that trade rules were enforced asymmetrically. And we knew that international law applied with varying rigor depending on the identity of the accused or the victim. This fiction was useful, and American hegemony in particular helped provide public goods, open sea lanes, a stable financial system, collective security, and support for frameworks for resolving disputes. So we placed the sign in the window. We participated in the rituals, and we largely avoided calling out the gaps between rhetoric and reality. This bargain no longer works. Let me be direct. We are in the midst of a rupture, not a transition. Over the past 2 decades, a series of crises in finance, health, energy, and geopolitics have laid bare the risks of extreme global integration. But more recently, great powers have begun using economic integration as weapons. Tariffs as leverage, financial infrastructure as coercion, supply chains as vulnerabilities to be exploited. You cannot live within the lie of mutual benefit through integration when integration becomes the source of your subordination.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We are going to pause the Prime Minister's speech and take a look, unpack some of the things he was saying. It was shocking to me. I don't know about you guys listening to him. This is a what they call medium power country in the world, essentially saying that, oh, we've always known that this is rigged, this is wrong, this is unfair. But we were benefiting from this and we kept quiet. Now we are no longer benefiting from this, so we are complaining, oh, this something has to be done. So that's my summary of what he essentially was saying. They knew that this is all against small countries, poor countries, all the bad things. They're just saying I'm an accomplice to all the criminal activities that happened in the last 80 years, but now it's not in our favor. We have to do something. All right, AY, let's start with you.
Yeah, again, as you rightly said, right? I think the three most important points I pull out from his speech. One was the challenge a long-standing global world order, right? The second one is the one you just mentioned. So he called for the new coalition among the middle powers, what we call the middle powers, like Canada, Europe, countries like India, even China. And he also asserted Canada's sovereignty on the world stage, which I find very, very interesting and very important. So that's what you see the coalition against Trump when it comes to Greenland. They wanted to prove a point. Because what Trump has succeeded in doing, it created the war tariff. Day one, I knew he was going to use this tariff to bully countries that don't comply to his madness. That's exactly what is going on. So you hear him, the moment you go against him on anything, he's going to threaten you with tariff. And you look at it, I mean, some of us live in America, right? How has the tariff benefited America? No, nobody can say he benefited. What is going on with Americans, those of you that don't know that supported Trump, America are paying more for the tariff. America are paying for it. America are seriously paying for it. Trump has not helped America in any way. When you look at the economic number, the numbers are decreasing, they are not good. Apart from his madness going on with the immigration stuff, picking people from their home, irrespective if you are a citizen or not citizen, give you authority to ICE to be shooting people. There is nothing he has done for this one over a year he has stayed in office now. So I think the world actually recognizes this now. I mean, where you see Putin was kind of supporting him with the Greenland issue. That's when I knew these guys, they just want to share the country among themselves. They want to share the world among themselves. But I'm happy for Canada. I know my brother Chim was talking about Kani. Trump is not a match for Kani. People can read Kani profile. Kani was the first British governor. I don't know what they call it. They are CBN governor. Non-citizen. He was the only non-citizen that have entered the back of Britain. He's the only person. Apart from that, he works with Goldman Sachs for years. He worked with former Canada Prime Minister. In fact, the two prime minister, two prime minister, Justin Trudeau and Stevie Harper, the one before Justin Trudeau. He's very brilliant. He's very brilliant. So I'm not surprised. Now what he's doing, which is the right thing to do, is forming alliance with countries that ordinarily they have a long-standing issue with Canada, like China. He just left China last week or last week, yeah. He was in Qatar. It's forming alliance. Canada have a lot of potential. So the way Trump was coming with this tariff issue is more like is telling the world we are feeding these people, but this is not true. Canada have been feeding America in some ways. Canada provide electricity for more than 100,000 Americans. If you don't know, Canada provide a lot of oil for America. So it's a win-win. So agriculture, Canada produce a lot of agri-produce for America. So don't let anybody tell you, oh, it's America feeding Canada. This is not true. This is a verifiable fact. Yes, America is America. America is big. You can't deny that. America is superpower. But that does not mean you should be bully every country, bully everybody. You go to Venezuela, pick up a president just because you need the oil, not because of the people. The propagation in Nigeria as regard the Christian genocide, it's not because you love the Christian. If you love the Christian, you could have asked them, I'm giving asylum to 1 million Nigerian Christians, let them come to America. How come that did not happen? But there is interest. He have interest in Nigeria, which anybody that think clearly knows. It does not have anything to do with Christian in Nigeria. It does not have any. God does not like you. It does not like black people, period. When you come to America, even the police are saying it. Go to Minnesota and see what is going on. Their target is black and brown people, not white. Trump himself openly said, why are Europe not migrating to America? So this is interest. So we cannot deny it. Yeah, it's becoming interesting. The world leaders see what is happening. Unfortunately, we have leaders in Nigeria that are sleeping, that don't even know what is going on, apart from probably South Africa a little bit. He can bully every other country. So Nigeria, we are just sleeping. Hopefully, my fear still, they don't create a crisis in Nigeria that, you know, turn Nigeria to Somalia or Sudan, what is going on in Sudan. This is my fear. But anybody praising Trump, I don't know why. I have friends that were using the Obamacare, pay like $200 for healthcare. Right now, that bill is more than $1,200 to $1,500. So the poor people in America are suffering. People are suffering. The economy is suffering. Jobs number are going down. So it's not doing anything for Americans. It's just bullying the world around. And the most important point, they just discovered that in the last 1 year Trump has been in office, Trump has increased his wealth by $1.4 billion. So if you think Trump is working for you, Trump is working for himself and his family and his cronies. Period. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, AY. Let's go to recolonization now. You added now. I thought you were planning it for last week. You are now, it has to happen now.
It has to happen right away, you know. You see, what that guy, I don't know whether you want me to talk about the Prime Minister of
Yeah, you can talk about any angle to that, you know.
Yeah, for me, this brother, AY, you know, some of us, everybody has an opinion. That's what brings me to this platform where you can say how they pain you. But for me, when you people talk about this Trump example, when he was saying what he was saying, I don't know much about it. But when he came to, he says he loves Christians, he's trying to tell us that he doesn't like us, he's coming for interest. This is where I start to shake my head. What do you mean? Dr. Damages, in the world of today, there's a lot of leaders in the world who are just doing what they like. Even here in Europe. You understand? And there's nobody questioning them. Then when somebody now does what they are doing, like the other, he was telling me that the Canadian Prime Minister is now seeing that what they were doing now, somebody is doing it, so they start complaining. Then they start blaming Trump. Trump is a world leader who promised to put things right, to assist the people who are not strong enough. You understand? Going to Greenland, for example, that place is just lying fallow. Denmark says they are the owner. The world economy is going down. Trump is, as a businessman, saying, the guys, something there, make we buy them from una, the way they bought Alaska or things like that. I remember, you know, let us find something and remove what is on the ground or whatever and let the economy start improving. You say you own Greenland, the place is lying fallow, nothing is happening there. You understand? That is his argument, or what the Swedish people are arguing. Oh, leave it like that, nature, blah, blah, blah. Fine. But then when we talk about our problem now, what Trump is doing in Nigeria, which is my own concern, whatever they are doing in the world, honestly, I don't pay much attention in that. We just hear it, okay, blah, 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 okay, because they don't contribute anything to my own welfare. Okay, I come here to recolonize myself because our people refuse to give us anything. So it's better to move to where they will colonize me again and I will live a good life. That is why you see the colonization now. The other brother said I was a joker the other day, but his parents, because it's not a Nigerian, he speaks like an American, so probably he was born there or he was taken there as a child. The parents knew what was good for him, that it's better for you to live in the colonial master's land and be a human being. You understand what I'm saying? When we are inviting Trump to come to Nigeria to help us, so that we can also enjoy, so that Nigerians can have electricity, so we can live. You understand what I'm saying? So, like your guest last week, many people say that the man don't know what he's talking. These people know, these are educated guys who knows what they are saying. Africa, the world needs a policeman to put things right. Everybody's blaming Trump. Many Africa, Cameroon, the man is there for how many years? 40 years or 50 years, he's still there. Nobody talks. Then when Trump is trying to put things right, they say, oh, Trump is coming for his interest. Nigeria have oil, we have everything. How many Nigerians can boast their chest that they benefit from our oil? From nobody. It's just a ham bunch of criminals, just like how they try to blame Trump. You understand me? So for me, he loves the Christians. He wants to help the Christians. Whether somebody say, oh, he doesn't love his interest, he's doing his own interest. All human beings are fighting for their interest in this world. Any man who is created, even animals, if you love pets, watch them how they behave. They control their own interest. So if Trump is trying to help the poor to come to the level of to enjoy what the rich are enjoying, Nigeria is a country of class. If you are not in the class, you die. So whatever Trump is doing in Nigeria, for me, 100%, my hand, my 10 fingers are with him, my leg, my 10 toes are with him, everything. My head self there inside. Make the man come help us. Why? Make una change una mind. Una dey America, they chop, they enjoy. Allow the man come and help the poor in Nigeria too. Dalu no.
Thank you, recolonization.
I'm sorry, I just want to say that we are keeping alive our dreams.
I can say that. Thank you. Paul, welcome to the show.
Yeah, Doctor. Doctor, on the flip side,
let me run away. Thank you. I will be on the background enjoying you guys. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, just be at the background and listen what I will say because I'm opposing you. On the flip side, I was in America, chopping and enjoying and everything, and I'm so thankful to the good Lord.
Finish so that you don't think we are afraid of what we are saying.
Okay, so I'm so thankful to the good Lord that I'm chopping and enjoying in America because all my life, every time I see an American, they chop, live better life. They use my sisters, my mothers as housekeepers. They use our fathers as drivers, as gatemen, and everything. So lucky me.
Do they have any other thing to offer apart from those things, Paul?
I'm going somewhere. So
jobs they are doing, are they not well paid?
I am going somewhere. So that's the same thing. I'm also well paid in America. So I'm also chopping and enjoying in America. So it just, I think it balances itself now.
Why don't you go back to Nigeria, Mr. Paul? Let me ask
you. So why don't the America also go back to Nigeria? Go back to America. What is the American? What is the America doing in my worry?
Why don't you go back home to Nigeria?
Why don't the America in worry also go back to his America? What is he doing in the country where no life?
They are not complaining. If you are complaining,
they are not complaining. I am not complaining too. So that you are the one complaining. I'm not complaining. You are the one complaining.
And your brothers are driving. If you are not satisfied in America, Mr. Paul, humble yourself.
My brother, I am satisfied in America. Do you hear me? Like the America is also satisfied in Nigeria. What are you talking about? I'm not complaining. And if America complain, Nigeria also complain. What are you talking about? So everything balances itself. But one thing you must understand from the point of national security, first thing first, like Trump said about Greenland, and the likes, you must understand. You cannot drive car to Greenland. You can even drive your car to Alaska. You understand? That is almost 2,000 to 4,000 miles away. From New York to Nigeria is about 7,000 miles. You understand? You cannot even drive to Greenland. America want to acquire that place and everything. But guess what? You know you can walk from Alaska to Russia that America literally bought. So if you bought Greenland again, then tomorrow the places that is a little bit close to Greenland again, you will say for national security again, you want to take it that the other person is too close to you. You understand?
You can't really walk from I get what you're saying.
No, you know what he's saying. He's speaking in parables. Don't worry, we understand.
Oh yeah, so you can't walk to Greenland. That's what I'm saying. But I mean Alaska, kind of. That's how close he is in Alaska. You understand? If America and Russia have good relationship, you can drive from Alaska to Russia. That's what I mean. You understand? It's just because of the relationship, it's not there. But that's how close he is. So when America said, based on national security, that Russia is encroaching, China is encroaching, that's why they want to take that place and everything. But look at the distance to the so-called New York from Greenland and the likes. That's one of the closest places to American more territory and the likes. Then when you say all this national security, it makes us laugh. Then another way around, when somebody is talking about, oh, Trump being nice, Trump being this, Trump being that, it's just laughable. You understand? No matter how evil you can be, how barbaric you can be. My father of blessed memory used to say something. He said, there's only 2 times a thief cry and everything. A thief successfully, if he stole and he acquires wealth, if he sees his child want to steal, he cries. Why do you want to do this thing? And everything. That's how it is. So which means no matter how bad you can be, you can still be good for one purpose or sometimes different purpose and everything. Because you don't want your son to steal. That's why you steal. You want your son to live good life and everything. So which means bad person can still have his good side and everything. So if you want to pick one side of Trump that because of Trump did one thing that favor you, that you want to say all these things, I don't think that's really, really right. Then when you talk about Trump, this man is fighting for America. He said America first and everything. Then you took Venezuela money. You understand? Oil. Then you sold that oil. You didn't even put it in American bank. You take it to Qatar and you say you will be in charge controlling the money and everything. Look, colonization or what your name, just think about it very well. If Bola Tinubu did that kind of thing, how will you feel? You understand? You did not use private security to do that. You use American security. You waste taxpayers' money. Then you take this thing, you say you are putting the money of all those oil that you are selling, you're going to put it in Qatar, that you are doing business with, a country that gives you $400 million aircraft. They are doing business with you worth billions of dollars and everything. This man now today worth 1.4 billion, but this same man again is accusing Ilan Omar that just between the space of how many years, he worth almost $30 million. You understand? You, the day you become president, you leave every of your private business. You focus on government. But between the space of you being in government, now you worth 1.4 billion that you just amass and everything. What about that? And everything. So, my brother, let us put word in proper perspective. You understand? Nobody is perfect, but if you see things, when we pick and choose and everything, we make the monster grow. When Hitler started doing what he's doing, people support Hitler for a good cause, not until we understand the way he's going with it and everything, this scared of all this black, brown and everything, then this white nationalists and everything. That would not really make America great. What make America great after everything is American soft power. Everything that America have done with violence, they lost it. All the regime change that America have been doing, none of them America successfully achieved. They lost it. But the few times that America used their soft power to pursue a common cause, they achieve it, just like what they did with Germany. Germany today is the 4th, 5th richest economy in the world. You understand? After the fight, the Second World War, then they use the soft power way. You won't get this, you won't get this, but you do this, we'll support you, we'll partner with you, you become our ally. Germany gets successful. But when you impose, you put some wrong people into power and everything, like what they are planning initially to do in Iran. Guess what? You might take the Ayatollah out. That sounds good to the ordinary man. But when you impose on another person a puppet and you start controlling the puppet, in another 5-10 years, the people still going to revolt again and fight that puppet. The country will know no peace. Is that not the exact thing they did in Afghanistan? Is that not the same thing they did in Libya? Where is Libya today after they say they come out a dictator? Where is Libya today? Because by the time you put a puppet and everything, the people still going to realize again, oh no, we don't like what is going on. By the time you put another puppet in Venezuela again, over time, the people still going to fight back. You understand again? Then the country will know no peace. It doesn't work. You live and let's live. At the end of the day, government still revolve around culture. You understand? People still must bring culture into governance to some extent. And it makes everybody live. But when we want to force everybody to live a common lifestyle and everything, that's when we find problems. That's my take for now.
All right. Thank you, Paul. I'm giving everyone 5 minutes maximum so that we can get to all of you. Go ahead, forefathers interference.
How you doing, Rudolph? So what are we complaining about?
No, we're talking about the speech by the Canadian Prime Minister and everything that happened in the last this month, really, and whether the world has changed according to some people. For those who may be interested, let me show you guys before you speak. Bumbu. For those who might be interested, there's an article in weird.com which talked about we are witnessing the self-immolation of a superpower. This journalist wrote a wonderful piece about the implications of Trump's action in Greenland, Minneapolis, and Venezuela, and how it's changing the foreign policy of the United States and the relationship between the United States and the rest of the world. There have been so many commentaries on how Europe has changed their relationship with America as a result of some of the moves that Trump has been making. So go ahead.
Yes, I actually read the article about the self-immolation back at this moment. Well, Paul has spoken beautifully, same with AY, and I do understand that Revolution now has its own opinion, which is fair. You know, we all have our opinions depending on how we see things and how, based on our knowledge on how we interpret what is presented to us. Although I don't get how someone would say you think Trump is coming to save Christians when he's supplying the bombs to kill the original Christians. One thing I always say on this show is Jesus was born in Bethlehem. He's from Nazareth. Both of them in the West Bank, Palestine. If Jesus was alive today, he'd be running for cover every time F-35s, Israeli F-35s are dropping 2,000-pound bombs. So how do you think someone that does not care what is happening to the original Christians, decimating the last original Christian enclaves in Tebla, right there in Palestine, cares about your African self back in Nigeria? I think at some point self-deceit has to become realization. You cannot just be that deluded. At some point, you have to get your head out of the sand, out of your ass, and come to reality. They don't care about you. It's the United States. They're white supremacists. They do not care about you. You could fall off a rock today and get smashed into bits. But that being said, based on what Paul was saying, and I'm glad you got the joke about the Russian walking. I was hoping you didn't take it out of. Trump is basically signing a deal that was already signed in 1951. So all this brouhaha about what is going on in Greenland had already been agreed to after World War II. It is nothing new. America had already begun giving access to parts of Greenland, the Arctic, which included setting up bases, and if they had to seek for natural resources raw materials there. They already had it. So all of this, he wants to annex it. I think the problem I have, Rudolph, with these people is that a lot of them are not knowledgeable. Let's just keep it real. Most of the people in Trump's cabinet today are not knowledgeable, because how do you go from a treaty that you already have to insist that now you want that treaty again? Then you backtrack and try to proclaim victory on something that already existed. That makes no sense. But for me, moving forward, I think the bigger picture that everybody is missing is something I always bring up on the show, and it's something that is critical, and it's something I hope people will start paying attention to, is that we are not gradually losing our freedom. We are losing it fast, radically. Just this past week, Larry Ellison, and just before I move on, the same Larry Ellison, they've taken over TikTok. And the only reason they took over TikTok, they took it over yesterday. And this is why everybody is moving away from it. And the only reason they took over TikTok was at the behest and the demands of Benjamin Netanyahu, saying because they are losing the narrative among the younger crowd, meaning from age 14 to age 45, they need to control the information that goes out to the world. Meaning, this is why, I mean, you spoke about it the other time when you reminded me that it wasn't PBS that was getting sold, it was CBS. So they've decided they're taking over mass media. They're trying to control social media. They're controlling the algorithms. Now, back to what I was going to say. They're taking our freedoms in different ways. I think Minnesota and Chicago are the experiments. Then they're moving forward to the digital aspects of it. This past weekend, which, before I throw it off, Larry Ellison proclaimed something, and he has said this in the past before. This is the last time any user of Oracle will use a password. Now they're going to start using biometrics. And for people that, I don't know if you spoke to the average Nigerian about why this is an intrusion of privacy. They'll say, well, what are you scared of? Why don't you want to put your face there? And why don't you, what's wrong with them asking for you to smile, your voice recognition? Well, when you start doing these things, in the end, when government starts collating all this data, it leads to abuse. And this is why I always reiterate that the United States has never, at any point in its history, had a national ID, and we've always fought against it. Now, basically, of course, they've forced everybody with a real ID, with people like Thomas Macy are fighting against. That leading, we're basically getting into a dystopian society, Rudolph. I know it might sound like I'm all over the place because, it's 5 minutes. I'm trying to rush and bundle a bunch of things together. But I just think in the end, people need to look at the bigger picture. It is not just about what's happening in Greenland. Basically, they're splitting up the world. They're dividing the world, and they are amassing large control over everybody. This, I believe, and speaking to experts, is also because we are leading towards a one world government situation. They're taking from the start.
Yeah. I rang the bell before for you to round up.
Oh, sorry. I know I might be all over the place because it's so much to unpack. But yeah. When it's time again, I'll speak.
We may go back one more round with everybody if we have time.
Right, no problem.
Yeah. Good evening. Can you hear me, Doctor?
Yes.
Yeah. Good evening. Good evening, my friends. Yeah. Trump was in Europe this week. Yeah, this week.
Did you meet him?
Very close to me, anyway.
Did you meet him?
Is about 4 hours or 5 hours where I live. Dr. Rudolph, did you remember last year when we were talking about Trump, asking NATO to, to hurry up to, make up their annual budget for defense, right? You remember what I told you? sometimes these Europeans, they need somebody to kick their ass. That is what they need, somebody to kick their ass. If you live in Europe, you know that these people, they need some kind of, and they move. When he told them to, add up, because America cannot take, almost, full control of NATO spend, defense, expenditure. They thought that the young man was, bluffing, until he became very seriously, and they moved. Today, Germany, all of them, most of them are even paying more than the 2% of the annual budget. It was Trump that kicked them all, to start doing that. Otherwise, they withdraw from NATO. So, Greenland is a bit tricky, because if you look at Greenland, it's geographically is not America. You know that. Yeah, Greenland is. So, and this Greenland, do you know that those people that have been fighting to be independent, to have their own independence from Denmark? Do you know that even some of them are even happy that Trump, not many, but they're about 55,000 people, but almost 10% of them are happy that what Trump is doing, because they have been under subjugation of Denmark. They have been trying to, have their independence from Denmark, and Denmark has been refusing them their independence. They even voted for referendum. 85% said yes, they want self-governance. Yet Denmark is not allowing them to go. This is this Greenland now. Now, what Trump did was, I think his early statement that he's going to take Greenland was like kind of, let me see what the reaction of the Europeans. Now, Europeans, they have also agreed that, okay, we are going to send our troops, our military, to protect that line, because that line is, Greenland is very close to America than even some part of Europe here. So now they are, kind of making sure that strip is protected. Like it or not, like it or you don't like it, China and Russia are not friends of Europe. Western Europeans. They're not friends. Militarily, they're not friends. So, and that land is closer to America than to Germany. So, for Trump to say, let's protect this area, or I take it completely from you guys, and okay, it sounds a bit dictatorial, but the movement is, some of the movement he made was not wrong. Even some analysts here in Germany or in European, they even say here that the Europeans delayed a lot by not protecting that area, at least making sure that Chinese and Russian, ships are not, encroaching to that land. That's only what I can say about Greenland. All you hear, what the legacy media tell you about this Greenland is not it's not sacrosanct. Trump has some rights, when he was talking about Greenland. But I don't support him taking it militarily, but diplomatically they are reaching some consensus as we speak. And the Europeans are also, they're waking up from their slumber, because these people, they sleep too long. The Canadian Prime Minister was talking. He was a governor, of Bank of England for how many years? He's a very corrupt person. When he was the governor of Bank of England, he saw how many Nigerians were looting money, bringing the money to England. What did he do? He did nothing. He was collecting the money from corrupt Nigerians, because he was almost 10 years the governor, the governor of Bank of England, Mr. Carney. So all these people you see, he now is trying to, kind of confess we did. No, the Europeans, they are part of our problem, because they keep quiet, just like what is happening in Nigeria. If Trump didn't intervene, for European Union is for them. As long as you kill yourself, it doesn't matter. Let us get our gas, because they need African gas, mostly Nigerian gas, because during this Russian war, Russia has cut their gas almost 90%. So they need gas from Africa, and Nigeria is their best option. So whether we kill ourselves in Nigeria or not, they don't care. What they care is that oil and that gas. That's why they keep quiet while people are being murdered in Nigeria. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mazi Para. Chim, you're next.
Okay, so thank you, Rudolph. I just want to make an opening statement. One is we need to take off our pre-election hats and, try and be reasonable human beings. I don't have to always hate you because I didn't like your politics or I didn't support you. That's not what we're here for. This is not 2024 American general elections. That has nothing to do with what we're doing here. We're here to talk about world politics. Let me start with the Canadian Prime Minister. A little context about this man. Because people, you see, it's easy to just wake up and we praise somebody. McCartney, number one, is not a politician. McCartney had no interest in running for Prime Minister of Canada. But they were globalists. Call it conspiracy. We know when we mention global conspiracy. They were globalists who have worked with this man. This man has been a member of the globalist family, from confraternity, if I might use that word, running things. That's how, for someone who was saying he is the first non-British, listen, Canada is still a plantation of the British monarchy. Quote me, I live here. Canada is still a plantation of the British monarchy. I repeat again. So forget about what you see. This place is owned by Charlie's family. They do what they like quietly under the guise of a sovereign Canadian nation. Even the Americans know this. That's why, as proximous as Canada is to the US, Canada runs what? A parliamentary system of government. From where? From the UK. That's what? Who is our head of state? King Charles is the head of state of Canada. King Charles is not the head of state of the United States of America. People need to start putting two and two together when some of these things. Ask yourself questions. How is it that in this hemisphere, this particular nation so close to the US runs a parliamentary system of government? Please ask those questions. It's not just as straightforward as you see it. Now, the other thing is, McCartney was a huge failure when he was central bank governor of England. He put the British economy in where it is right now. Forget what you're saying. Anybody can see that. If you take your time and go and see his policies, you will understand that. So to come around suddenly now and he's speaking and everybody say, oh, what a global man, his speech is so high, blah, blah, blah. That guy is a hypocrite. I repeat that. Big one. This guy, they thought they were afraid of the guy who was giving Justin Trudeau a tough time and forced Justin Trudeau that his party turned on him and asked him to leave that seat. They knew they were going to lose the election and they were looking for who can we get. And that's why they ran back and told this guy, come, the world accepts you. Come and run for prime minister. That guy is not a politician, but he is the prime minister today. So that's fine. As for US and Greenland, listen, I'm not supporting Trump's rhetoric, but people make it look like, yeah, sorry, go ahead and say what you want to say.
I didn't want to stop you, but I was thinking I wanted to know your view of what he said, not who said it. I mean, it's okay to.
Well, I cannot separate. I can't separate who said something. I can't separate who said something from what you said. That's just me. I cannot. It must align. That's why I said his body language does not match his speech, because there were a lot of things he said in there that contradict the way he has been living and the kind of economic policies he has pushed while he was not a politician yet. He's been supportive of ripping off the so-called smaller nations he's talking about. He was working for all the big companies that AY mentioned. These people were ripping off even the Nigerians of this world. Suddenly today, now he is a political head. And now because he's seeing how tough it is to deal with this guy down south, he's now beginning to rally other. Listen, One of the things I have said the Canadians made a mistake in is this: how can you be a major steel manufacturing nation? You do not have, Canada is among of all the top 7G nations. Only one that does not have an a local automobile company. Only one. How did you get there? It's these same people who run these policies. Why we have to produce Ford is an American company, Chrysler is an American company, all those companies are American companies. None is Canadian, but they have huge manufacturing hubs in Oshawa, in Ontario, Canada. And then they manufacture, ship the thing back to US, and then we Canadians go back and buy those things for more exorbitant prices. It's people like McCartney that made those policies. McCartney, shortly before he became the prime minister, turned the headquarters of a major institution he was running and moved it to Washington. Today he's crying. How do you do those kinds of things? So I don't like it when somebody, because these people can say things for fancy reasons, but is it from your heart? Is this really what you believe in? So because of time, I want to dwell a little bit on this Greenland thing. Greenland is not a new place that suddenly in 2026, 25, when Trump started talking about it, suddenly the whole world now knows Greenland. No, Greenland has always been there. America has a military base in Greenland. America has a major scientific, innovative center in Greenland. That place has been there way back before the 80s, before some people on this platform were born. So there's been a doctrine in America of negotiating to acquire Greenland. Trump didn't start it. Trump, as usual, with his noise and incoherent way of going about things, makes things messy. I agree with that. He makes things messy. It doesn't mean that the foreign policy of America that has nothing to do with who is in seat in Washington has never always been to have a pie or a piece or a total ownership of Greenland. People need to get educated about this. See, people might come out now because they don't like Trump and disagree with him, but it has always been a Washington policy to hold Greenland. So it has nothing to do with Trump. So separate the man from the national policy. Can we do that, first and foremost? Which I don't see many people doing here. So my point is, the way the man might be going about it might be wrong. We all know who Trump is, noisy. Trump might deport the least number of immigrants in the world. But because of the noise he makes, he creates more attention to himself. I don't know why he does that. Maybe his personality is unable to change. So I yield on that. But the last thing I just want to say is this. I do not think America wants to annex Canada. America will never annex Canada. I do not think America wants to annex Greenland. It will never happen. What I think they're trying to do is they probably have gotten to a crescendo on where their foreign policy is. And this is one of the things that is on the front burner. And they're pushing it. It just happens to be happening when the orange man is on seat. And as usual, he makes things messy. I can admit that. He makes things messy with the way he goes about things. So I think we need to separate those issues, because I think sometimes people just come here and they get colored by your dislike for someone. Separate issues. America has always had a military base there, and their interest in Greenland has always been uttermost, because they feel that's one area, if they don't protect properly, they will be at risk to Russia and now China. Other presidents, maybe Obama and co, with their personalities, have gone about it in a different way. This guy is just a robust character. So that's what I want people to be able to separate these things and stop making it look about it's about Trump. It's not about Trump. It's not about Trump. It's about America. And those in foreign policy offices in the US, they know this better than you and I who are sitting here. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Chim. Maska, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Mr. Rudolph. I don't know which you prefer. Is it Dr. Damages or...
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I take anything.
Mr. President.
Anything you call me.
You know, it's cool to address people properly. And I think it's important for us to know which you prefer. But we'll find out. Don't worry. We'll find out which one you prefer. I think you prefer Rudolph or Concord.
Yeah, that's why that's the name in front of you.
Yes. All right, yeah, a true African. All right, good evening, everybody. You know, I don't like this early part segment, but sometimes you can't help but join, you know. Also, it's a double whammy for me because I don't like talking about Western foreign policy. At my age, I think one thing is clear, that I think it's Canada said it, that if you are not on the table, then you're on the menu.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what people like me have come to live with, you know. I don't think I will ever shake it out of my head that, you know, people sat somewhere and divided the continent I belong to with no reference to anybody from Africa, and they came and implemented it. It would be ridiculous for me to ever think that, oh, these people will have my interest. So when they are fighting for me, actually, I think we as Africans should be more concerned about, okay, what does that mean for us Africans and the Black diaspora in general? What does this mean? For a lot of us that come here to talk about, imperialism and all that, I think we should begin to discuss that this is an opportunity, because clearly today, take it or leave it, there is discord among the people who are eating me as lunch or dinner. They are fighting on the table. So me, that is the goat that they normally slaughter, isn't it an opportunity for me to find a way of escaping, since the eaters are having a problem on the dining table? This, for me, I think, are the issues. This is what I really believe we should be talking about. One thing I'm also very clear, but before I go to that, let me just backtrack a bit on Chim, because we talk of hypocrisy, and all of us, we do it. You know, Chim said he cannot separate the person who is talking.
You had that. You had that. I didn't want to pick it up.
And then in the same you, Chim, you're like, how on earth would you sit and then try to agree with what Trump is saying, and in the same vein also say, oh, the man is this and that? But the long and short of whatever people are saying about Trump, I think it's not even about what America wants. What we believe is that their interest is the same. The main challenge people have with Trump is simply about the way he goes about what he wants. I think that's the
thank God you agreed about that. That's what I was saying. So I'm not sure where you got my point from, but go ahead.
No, I'm saying that you said some people are hypocritical, like you're accusing Kanye of being a hypocrite. You also said that you cannot separate the person who is talking from what he's saying. But I'm saying that if that is the case, then you should throw away Trump completely.
But I said American policy, not Trump. I said remove Trump from it. It's American policy.
Is this issue we are discussing is not American policy, it's Trump we are discussing today. Unless if you're creating
that's my point. If you heard me, is that I am not looking at Trump, I'm looking at American policy. That's what I said. It's American policy. It has something to do with Trump.
That the topic is Trump, not American policy.
No, that's from your perspective. I'm looking at it from a larger angle.
I see, it's all right. So anyway, the point I really want to make is that in my mind, like I said, for us Africans, and especially those of us that strongly believe in imperialism, I think these are the windows that we should be looking at, okay? People like Trump, they are the opportunities we should all be living for. I am convinced that China became what it is today because America was so engrossed with Russia. America did not realize what was happening until when it's almost too late. And in conclusion, I am convinced also that this is not a complex thing. Everything America is doing now to follow the suit of Chim, to leave Trump and follow America as a company and as a country and its foreign policy. Everything that is happening today, in my mind, to a large extent, is about China. I'm convinced that Trump is really not interested in any security-related issue, but he knows also that China, as long as they will get all the input that they get, they will continue to forge ahead of America. I've said it before on this platform. My understanding of America's policy is that they always want to be the dominant power. And in their mind, if they are not the dominant power, then they are just going back again to this same thing, is that if they are not the ones dictating things, then they are also technically speaking on the menu. This is the way they see it. So they would do everything that they can to make sure that every other country that is aspiring to be a superpower, they bring that country to its knees. And I think all this Greenland and everything is all about that. For me, I think that is the long and short of it. And in summary also, given the fact that America, whether we like it or not, economically, it's still in theaters. People don't believe it, don't want to agree. But I am convinced that the American economy is not very, very safe. So there are a lot of things that they know, we don't know. And that's why sometimes it will look like even some of the moves they are taking is very desperate to go and kidnap a president, So I rest my case there. And thank you, Mr. Rudolph. Thank you.
Thank you, Master. Thank you so much.
I
I see that comment.
Okay. Please take advantage of it and change it now. Not in Africa.
No. The person is forgetting the fact that we Africans, as Africans, there's this book by Alain Mazure called Africa, the Triple Heritage. We have triple heritage. We are yet to get rid of it. So as long as you go to church, you have
what did you call the man again?
Alain Mazure.
Repeat it again.
Alain Mazure.
Not Anthony Mazuri.
No.
Ali Mazrui.
Ali Mazrui. I'm sure you know where I'm going to with that.
Oh, okay. Oh, what are you talking about? Chim, you have to go and read the book. It's not what you think. He was very accurate in what his analysis. Okay, Tony, Oti, welcome to the show.
Hello. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, I'm happy that Tony is here as well. Look, you've asked us to comment on Guiness' speech, and of course, I'm quite happy that what's happening in Davos, what's happened in Davos, just took place on the heels of the kidnapping of the Venezuelan president. You've asked us to comment on.
Sorry, let's figure out who that is. Can you mute
yourself? I'm quite happy that.
I don't know who that is, but okay, go ahead.
Good. Sorry, I mentioned Tony because when we discussed the issue of the Venezuelan president, it was quite ambivalent, So I would like to know what he thinks about, the diplomacy or lack thereof, the Trumpian, if you like, aggression, against Denmark. So I would like to know what he thinks about that, So I listened to the, Kanye speech. Yes, I mean, anybody listen to it can, of course, pick up whatever, points. Or for one thing, he did admit the confession that the West, the middle powers, they're not quite really, if like sincerely committed to what we call the rules-based international order. They know they are hypocritical. They have not really. But then the good thing is this, at least that confession, and is an opportunity to kind of, if like, to have a reset. Okay, so because is affecting them this time. They're no longer part of the, if like, the oppressive powers, but rather they can also be victims. So that is one good thing, at least, that Trump, his determination to, if like, upend the international order. That's perhaps one good thing that one can see in it. But other than that, I don't see how I don't see any kind of redeem apart from what I've just said. How anybody can just approve what Mr. Trump is doing. Whether his domestic policy and the way he's treating other nations. I don't know, some of us, whether we understand or believe in what the sovereignty, what that means. So, I mean, the institution of might is right. That's something we cannot under any guise approve. I think it's a good thing. For one thing, we haven't got our power of our own. So at least that's what the law is there for, to protect everybody, especially the weak. Now, if we kind of somehow approve or indifferent about the the use of force, illegitimate force. So what becomes of us? That means really we don't understand what's, we don't understand our situation. And that would be a great pity. Now, people have said, okay, look, trying to maybe justify the moves Trump is making against Greenland. Okay, that has been an American whatever treaty has been in existence, and so what? So this having they may have a license, to have the bases there, but it's quite different to kind of use force to demand, say it's a right, and be prepared to enforce it by force of arms. So these are totally different things. We should be able to kind of make this, have this proper understanding, have the nuance. It's not just everything goes. Okay. So and of course, how about previous American presidents? Why didn't they approach the matter this way? So Trump, with his politics, it's not something we can, no matter how we think it is. I don't know. He's favoring anything, any cause we support. No, that's not how things should be done. That's what is called diplomacy. You have to have respect for other people, whether you're dealing with nations or individuals. So this is we should be quite clear about these things. Have moral clarity and not kind of equivocate. Okay, wrong is wrong, and we should be able to condemn wrong actions, wrong conduct, no matter whoever is carrying them out. So that's really where I stand. So Kane, and not only Kane, of course, his performance was quite outstanding, but other European leaders, the German Chancellor, this guy Macron, and who was at even the president of the EU. So they spoke in the same with the same sentiment. So countries, middle powers, even developing countries, they are entitled to respect. They have to, they can't just be, taken for a ride or have a superpower run roughshod over them. We should resist that, and we should kind of be more organized and put our houses in order, play good politics back home in Nigeria, and then we can also raise our heads high, so that is the way I look at it. I mean, again, to kind of what Maska was saying, it's an opportunity for us, if we have this kind of disorder, we should take advantage of, and then of course also fight for our emancipation, because we're not yet free. So that's the way I look at it.
Thank you, Oti. Righteous Man, you are next.
Welcome. Look at it. Thank you, Oti.
Yeah, Mazio Konko. Good evening from the city of Warri in Delta State. It's really a nice time. All the panelists and commentators that comment on this section. Quite interesting. I'm in the city of Warri. Since Wednesday, I've been here. It's quite unfortunate that a common disease that has befallen the country has spread everywhere. There's no light here in this city of Warri. It's a terrible thing, The weather is absolutely hot. But life is going normal here. Any person you meet and interact with, I don't think that people are showing enough zeal for 2027 election. They are just kind of showing like a desperate attitude because they felt Obi betrayed them 2023, that they were waiting for him to give them a go-ahead order, and then they will settle the issue of this nation. But he disappointed them, and for now, I think they need more sensitization and more, what will I say, canvassing to win back the souls. I'm telling you, absolutely, in the Warri city I'm talking about now, individuals I've met, both Kakamaroa people and, every other common man on the street. The story is the same. They are not interested in 2027 because Obi failed them.
for him not to have allowed them to make sure that Nigeria change, as in allowing them to go on the street, at least, and sort it out with the government. But he prevented them. As much as they have prepared, he brought down their morale, and they are no longer ready to go to queue to vote for any person. You know, that's just the situation in Warri here. And I can tell you authoritatively that the governor that decamped, the people of Delta State did not decamp with him. Though the governor is doing a fantastic job, he's changing the face of Delta State in the area of road construction and some other infrastructures. But politically, the people of Delta State have not decamped with him. Nobody is happy with what the APC government is doing nationwide. And the bitterness, you can feel it. It's just like a sprinkle of water that is touching the body of everybody, you know. So it's a terrible thing. Nigerians are groaning. You can smell poverty in the streets. You can feel it in the life of people. I mean, in the city of Warri here. And Delta State, I think by federal allocation, they get the highest in the country. And if the citizens of Delta State that are here cannot feel part of that money in terms of their life style, in terms of what comes into their pockets, in terms of what they eat, what they wear, and what they could lay hands on and say, this is what we have achieved from January to December. Then you will use it to match what other states citizens are passing through in this APC regime. And they would openly tell you that APC regime is a failure, complete failure, you know. And one man I spoke with today was asking me, what was the reason behind the governor defecting to APC, when they know that PDP, Delta State is a PDP state, and come rain, sunshine, they are for PDP. But they voted for B because he brought a different message in terms of politics in Nigeria. That was why they queued behind him. But it disappointed them by not doing the right thing to allow them to be on the street. You know, so that's the situation in Delta State right now. No lights, no water. The security is okay. Everywhere is calm. There's no robbery, no kidnapping. Life is just being normal as usual.
So Righteous Man, you spoke to people and they told you that. I wanted to know, they told you that it would be disappointed, and you said,
yes,
they were waiting for order from Obi to go on the streets, is that?
Yes, 2023.
Yeah, they were waiting for order. In Nepal
Yes.
and Madagascar, did they get order from opposition leaders to go on the street? You should have asked them that.
I didn't ask them that, but what I sense is that our political awareness here and our tradition is quite different from those countries you have mentioned. It seems that those countries are more politically sensitized and civilized than here. You know, traditionally here, you wait for the elders to give you instruction before you can act. I think that was what the Nigerian youths were waiting for.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to Tony. Tony, welcome. Oh, I think you were here before, no?
Yes.
Did you speak on this topic?
Yeah, I listened briefly. I listened briefly. There are a few things that I heard. So I don't know. I probably would like to comment on Greenland and my state, which Righteous Man talked about. But before I start, if you allow me, greetings everyone, those platform and those viewers. So W, greetings too.
Thank you.
I finished reading your book. I have a question for you. Most interesting for me is the poem on I think page 53 and so on. But we have time to talk about it.
That. We have a show on that. So I will announce that it's coming up soon, you know.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me start with Delta State. I had a few things that Righteous Man said. Let me welcome him to my state. I don't think that if you take a census of the views of Delta people about Obi, that you can, I don't know how you reach that conclusion that they are disappointed with Obi. I think that's just mere sentiment. They are not disappointed with Obi. And I can tell you if Obi runs, they still vote for Obi. At least I can, for the Anyoma area, I can tell you 100% that APC or PDP are just wasting their time. Our senator has moved to APC. We know that he didn't win. And you can see so many issues that are surrounding him. And if he dare tries to come back again, he's going to fail. The guy who represents us in the House of Rep is LP. The Senate election 2023 was won actually by LP, but somewhere along, one of the local governments, it was manipulated. So that's how Moko went in there. But we'll deal with him at the fullness of time. Yes, PDP. Delta State used to be predominantly PDP, but I think that has changed now. I think if it wasn't for the manipulations that followed the presidential election, the governorship would have gone to Labour Party. Because even Boriwari, who is the governor, was claiming to be obedient. He did claim to be obedient. And in spite of the fact that Ifeanyi Okowa, former governor, ran with Atiku, he failed woefully. And we have a case against him because he stole our money. It's just that APC has provided an umbrella, if you steal money and go to APC, your sins are forgiven. But we will settle that issue with him. And then let me also say that what other issue about Delta? Okay,
Tony,
so
your
much
network is getting a little bit blurry. It's breaking.
Oh, is it breaking?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I heard you.
Yeah, better a little bit.
Okay. Paul is there. So Paul is my brother from Delta, so I think he also can substantiate some of the things I'm talking about. I think there's a problem that in Delta State currently, because the leader used to be Omo Agege. Now that it looks like the governor has crossed over to PDP with some of his people, the governor only has one vote. When the time comes, we know who we're going to vote for. But there's a problem that has created, because as you know, the governor is the 001, as they would say, and that puts Omo Agege in a quandary. So that issue at the appropriate time is going to cause a problem, because there's going to be an implosion. That's what I see. And not just in Delta, in so many other states, because there's a problem that it has created by that sudden migration of people. But we know that they just want to protect their, for those of them who are running for a second term, they know they don't want to have a problem with Abuja, because if you are not there, it's either you speak like Mwambafo in Anambra, or you just move in. But we know that some of them, their hearts and soul are not with APC. They're just there to make sure that when they run, they get a second term. But that again, I can say we'll deal with. But quickly, let me go to Greenland. I listened to Chim, and I think Chim is correct in saying that the US has a base in Greenland. Yes, that's been long-standing. There was an agreement in 1959 between America and Denmark. Over a certain portion where the US built an air base and the weather station. They had to relocate the indigenes there, but much of Greenland is covered by ice. And as we see with global warming now, some of the ice is melting. And so you have more land now, coming up. And it's thought that beneath the ground are some rare earth minerals. So there's a likelihood that Trump's interest, one is because of likelihood of finding the attraction that there may be some raw economic motives, the rare earth minerals there and other minerals that may be discovered too. There is also, this feeling that China and Russia are threats to that island, and so America needs some kind of influence, more dominant than it is currently. So that's another factor. And the third one is the maritime advantage that Greenland has, where it's easier for America to be able to reach Europe. It's closer, and so those economic, political reasons are probably, some of the reasons why Trump was pushing to acquire Greenland. But I think somehow there's been a meeting of minds, and maybe it's been resolved. But Trump, knowing Trump who he is, if he mouths something, puts his mind on something, is going to find a way to still get it. Europe was good to be able to stand up against him, and I think he still find other ways. But I agree with Maska that part of the interest here is just to contain China. Well, I said something close to that last week. Containment policy, is the fear that China, the growing profile of China, is something that is bothering America and framing America's policy and Trump's reaction that we see. Now, I think whether it's morally right or morally wrong, is a different issue. I think I heard Oti, talking about the morality in politics and in international politics. When it comes to international politics, the interest of the nation is what is primary. Morality doesn't come first. So, and I think that those are the issues. Is Trump right? I don't know. If he's fighting for his country, he's probably doing the right thing. The methods that he's adopting, is it fair? Is it good? No. Some of them breaking international protocols and so on. That shouldn't be. But this is a unipolar world where America, is a big boy. He final say, does anything that he likes. Nobody checks him. But I like the fact that Europe came together and said, no, Trump, you're going too far. We're not going to take this. So let me just stop there and, take my turn when it comes next. Thank you.
All right, Tony, thank you so much. I've had a lot of conversations. Before I come to you, Jefferson, only Maska mentioned something that I think we didn't spend enough time talking about it, which is where does that leave us, Africans, seeing how the world is rearranging itself? If you're an African leader today, what are you going to be thinking about? What are you going to be doing? How, being that we've been complaining, remember in Africa, if you look at the French-speaking countries in Africa, they've been complaining that this world is not fair, the French are not fair to them. And we all know this, what the British are doing and all those people. And now the middle power countries are also complaining. So they were part of the people doing that to the poor countries. So the question that we need to address is not looking at it from just their perspective of what they are doing to themselves, but what about us? What are we going to be doing now? What difference can we make? And being that they also are feeling, should we send Thor to them? Because they, what are we going to do? That's another angle to it that I didn't hear a lot about. That. Jefferson, go ahead.
Should I address the question? Hello, good morning.
No, you can address anything you want, but I wanted to bring it up just in case you want to pick on that. But if you have something,
the topic you have on the screen. So, in issue of Greenland, of course, this is 21st century conquest. What was tenable in the past is not tenable currently. So, there's more information, and of course, there are a lot of things that are happening. If you look at that situation right now, whenever a news comes into the public space, and I think this could be an advice to everyone that is here, we should stop taking things literally as we see them. What do I mean? You see all our leaders, we look up to them, they're all good chaps and everything, but you don't know what's happening we don't know what is even happening under the surface. You don't know what these guys are up to. I think the moment we as a people have an understanding of things, it's better for us. It's just an advice. For those who like to see things as they are, good luck. But that's not how the world works. I will tell you this one for free. The world doesn't work that way. So let me take that one out of the picture. So the issue of the Greenland, of course, we know there are a lot of things happening behind the scenes. So it's not with clear eye. It's not with clear eye, but whether it will stand or not is left for the, is it G10 or whatever, to sort that one out for themselves. The court case in Abure, that one is all political gymnastics, and good luck to Bassey for winning the, what they call it, the Guinness record. So, you said something about where does Africa stand now with the current global political happenings. I would say that the same cognition that God gave everyone else. Look, every human being is sovereign in their own self, right? We have the ability to reason, to think for ourselves. So I believe we can do things differently as a people. We should know what I mean is that we should stop looking at things, the context of politics through the lens of other people. For instance, I'll give you a practical example. For the fact that America and Europe is undergoing recession doesn't mean that Nigeria should undergo recession. What is the metrics for doing that? I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say, because what is working for them is not the same that should work for us. We can innovate ways to make ourselves self-sufficient. You understand? Address policies. You know, like it's obvious that Nigeria is not a poor country, but it has been the issue of bad leadership. We have a very good weather. We have, everything's supposed to be all right. But of course, we are in constant state of conflict, because either the North does not agree with the South, or the South does not agree with the North, or even within the South we are disjointed. We are disjointed continuously on a continuous basis. I think some people was mentioned about Warri. Funny enough, I grew up in Warri, and I know what I saw there. Whatever the situation is today, somehow, whatever the situation they are facing today, somehow they're the ones that caused it, unfortunately, because a situation where you cannot come together and work out differences and say I can build your state forward, or move your state forward. Of course, it's just adding layer upon layer upon layer of trouble here and there, and that is the situation we see. If you can in the Nigeria of today, you can only count just one or few cities out of how many cities that are viable, and that's because the other people who are local government chairmen, representatives, governors, and all of you, most of them don't even believe they can turn their state around. Only few people putting pressure on other guys to work. Of course, we all know that our presidency is nothing to write home about, of which, if they can do things differently, we will all be happy. So what I'm trying to say in a nutshell is that we have the ability to do the right thing. This is not rocket science. Even other countries, other African countries are reforming. They are trying to do things differently. I think we have been taking the title of Giant of Africa. We have been riding on that title for years, but we are not seeing anything out of it. This thing should call for questioning that all these leaders that are presented, they should call themselves to order and say, look, why don't we do things differently? But unfortunately, we all know how it goes. The leaders are not interested. Instead, they only think of their political interest of how they would conquer in the next election. So, and until we change that narrative, and then, of course, finally, until we, the citizens, say no, we should not always be dancing towards carrots. Unfortunately, these are political representatives that are ruling us. Once in a while, when they remember, they'll bring bag of rice, they bring all manner of enticing gifts to the vulnerable, and they jump to it and forget what is in front of, and we always forget what is in front of us. So I believe we can do things differently. Anyway, that's all I have from my end. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Jefferson. We appreciate you. The last person that will speak on this is Dexter. But before he does that, let me just point out that tomorrow on 90 Minutes Africa, we have cartoonists. Yes, we are going in all directions. Everybody will be part of the conversation we are having here every week. So, but we have on 90 Minutes Africa tomorrow, Mike Asuko. Mike Asuko is editorial cartoonist. Most of you must have seen his cartoons. He's one of the best in Nigeria, and he will be here to talk about the place of satire in times of national emergency. There are many pictures that I'm sure you have seen that you may not know that they came from him. I'll show you some of them. He's very good in terms of interpretation of what is going on in the country, simply using images to explain them to us. So he will join us tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. New York time and 6:30 in Nigeria. Hopefully we won't have a power outage here in New York tomorrow because we'll be under the snow. But if everything goes well, we'll be live tomorrow with Mike Asoko. And if you can join us, we will appreciate that. All right. So let's go to Masca. And
in America, that first picture, this one will get him canceled because of how graphic it is.
Oh, is it? That's interesting. I didn't know that would happen. But anyway, let's go to Dexter. You are next on this topic.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Damage. I've been following behind the scenes. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody. I don't want to dwell too much on other people's business, really, because other people's business, I can't really. What I can't change, I shouldn't dwell too much on it. You know, I should dwell more on the things I can change. What I find interesting, I think I listened to, is it Edmond Obilo? I listened to someone that came on his show, and what the person was saying was that if Trump is worried about Christians, if he really cares about Christians in Nigeria, why doesn't he give 1 million of them asylum? And I find that very disingenuous. You know, that one of the biggest problems we have as Black people, is that it seems our way of thinking is a little bit very primitive. You understand? Like, so the biggest impediment to democracy in Africa is actually not the leaders. The biggest impediment to the benefits of democracy in Africa is actually not the leaders, it's actually the people. The people who are not, so you have more like it's 90-10. So you have 90% of the people who actually don't even know the tenets, don't even know what they should demand for. Who the value system is very poor, so they can't even make good choices. So the solution is for Trump to ship out. So you're having people who are being cleansed from their lands. And you're not saying that the solution is ship them out and let the insurgents just take over. You know, and I found that, and that person that was giving that advice was an elderly man. That's why I say there's a generation in Nigeria that is completely lost.
Sorry, that guy is a professor that guy is a professor. He's a professor in Texas.
Well, whoever they gave it, whoever it is, I just say there's a generation. It's the same way I saw someone, a gray-haired man, I don't really know his name, went on is it Nick's NIX podcast and was talking about why the Super Eagles failed, how they allowed the allowances that they were supposed to be paying, you know, get involved. And I'm thinking, they are living, and they were saying, in 1996, do you know what those people passed through? The people in 1996, do you know how they won? Do you know how they were not paid and they still played? So what are the values we hold ourselves to? You know, if we've moved as you have people who have gone to the Western world, and sadly, one of the things, Dr. Damage, that really is also very painful is that You have people who go to the Western world, enjoy the benefits, but still want people in Nigeria to keep on being primitive. They don't want them to be progressive. You have people who are, see, if you are protesting against somebody, really, don't stay in the same space with the person. You can actually as well leave. You understand? So you have people who are protesting against these things, but they are staying somewhere else. They stay in a place where they are getting benefits. And then they are saying, oh, but fight against this, fight against that. No, I think we are not doing ourselves any good. Because what I always ask people is, in the next 50 years, where will the African child be? Will the African child, the Nigerian child, still be looking to migrate? In the next 50 years, what will be fashionable for the African child, for the Nigerian child? Will he be migrating to the US, migrating to the UK, migrating to Sweden? Would that be his lot? And the only way to determine that is, what are we doing now? Because 20, 30 years from now, children that are 10 will want to make progress in their lives. What will be their lot? What is it that we have done and placed for them? Are they going to stay there? Do you think that they want to stay back in Nigeria? Don't you think they deserve a good life? Some of us are staying in places, you come back home, you put on the lights, it comes on. You turn the water, it comes on. But you have people in Nigeria that are scooping water from the well. I show speed came to and how to show you what we are investing in. You get the feel of how we are in Nigeria. I show speed came to Nigeria. What did he come to do? He came to show the culture of Africa. But what did you have? You had influencers. The largest streamer, youngest streamer in Africa or in Nigeria, I don't even know whether it's largest in Africa, chasing I show speed to, let's do collaboration. The point is, what value? I show speed was trying to show value in Africa, showing different cultures and showing the value to the world. But you have the Nigerian influencers not thinking, what value are we adding? What we're thinking is, how do I take his followers? How do I want some of his followers to follow me so that I will be, my viewership will increase without adding value? And to be fair, if you go and look at the Nigerian streamers, the highest ones of this young generation, they're not adding value. Zero value. They are adding there's no value in their content. You cannot tell them, you cannot watch that content and say, I learned this and I can implement this and I can make progress from this. You can't. And it tells you what we have invested in. If it is the girls, it's about bonbon. If it's the boys, it's about something that has nothing to add any value. So the question, look, let me tell you why this. We should be worried. Every one of us here should be worried because, okay, some of us here in the Western world have been no problem. Your children are there. My child is a US citizen. My child is a Swedish citizen. My child is a Norwegian. No problem. Oh, so they will be one day when those people tell your children go back home, where will they go to? You think it can happen? Trump has just showed us that a leader can come up, whichever country in the world you are, and tells you, look, everybody that gains citizenship from this time down, and don't forget they have records. Please, we are overpopulated. Go back to look. Anthony Joshua had an accident. He finished a fight with Logan Paul. And which flag did Anthony Joshua fly? The Nigerian flag. They asked him, why are you flying Nigerian flag? Why are you not flying the British flag? You are British. He said, no, I'm from Nigeria. I'm Nigerian first. My ancestors, that's my ancestral home. I'm Nigerian first. He did not take a month. He had an accident in Nigeria. He zoomed off back. It should be obviously because the fact. So just imagine that they now say, oh, okay, go back. Do you think we can go back? So when we are talking here, because the way some of us talk here, we talk like, where we did now normal. That's where we are, is where things are. Put it in context in what are we investing in that country? What's the expectation? Because look, the child that is 20 years today, in the next 30 years, that child is supposed to be a leader. And if we keep on having the mentality of Nigeria that turn by turn limited, don't worry, these old guys will go, then when I'm older, I will get in and take over. We are doing ourselves no service. We need to start thinking of what we are investing in the next generation? Will it hold water? Will it stand? Or the next generation of kids that will come out from Nigeria will look like 90%, it's only righteous man I can say, 90% of people that come on this platform are speaking from outside the nation. The next 20 years, what will the children that will be in their peak, what will they be looking to do? Need to migrate or to look for asylum? Maska, sorry, Maska, sorry, yes. That's why I say 90%, yeah. Dr. Damages, that is my heart cry. Okay? It is what are we, because we can talk of Trump, look, we can talk about Greece, we can talk about the geopolitics. Look, tomorrow, like forefathers wants Nigeria to become a world power. Just imagine, hypothetically, Nigeria becomes a world power. Someone like forefathers, don't you think he will start looking at Equatorial Guinea, like all those countries around Sao Tome and Principe? You say, Sao Tome and Principe, you are our national security. We need to send a frigate there. Our national security is threatened. Oh yeah, we need to annex Sao Tome and Principe. Yes, it is possible. Let us know. You are saying no now. Master,
sorry, sorry. I hope Mr. Rudolph, I can push back. No issue.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm old enough to know from the history of their country. This thing you're saying is completely off the table. I know what Nigeria have done for a lot of countries. Let's just leave it there. I disagree with you.
Maska, that's why I said hypothetically. Imagine you are saying what Nigeria has done. It takes one leader to come up and look at things and say, you are saying no. It's one leader that will come up and say, look, our national interest is being threatened. We need to look, Maska. China is creating islands so that they can.
I don't think we should drag it. Your own is a hypothetical case. I'm saying based on history. The history does not.
That's not correct. Based on history, Nigeria has taken military actions in some African nations. Do you want me to start?
I've read my own case.
Military action to save democracy or topple governments. That's different. That's different from invading them and trying to. Well, regardless of.
Don't mind this.
But that was why we went into those countries.
When people don't want you to say what they want, they just start going all over the whole place.
Hold on, guys. Let him finish. Let's finish up. And
so China today creates island to extend its US zones. Look, the truth is this: Nigeria is not a world power yet. Nigeria is not yet even half, because we don't even understand the power of the seas. That's the truth. We don't have anything. We have, look, do you know that even fishing, do you know the great extent European countries to extend their EEZ zones so that their fishing trawlers can have access to the tuna and all kinds of fish, mackerel that they want to get. Does the Nigerian government know the species of fishes that reside within 500 meters of our shores? Look, we are not yet an economic hub. We don't even understand the impact of having a shoreline. Thank you, Dr. Damages.
All right.
Dr. Damages. Can I just quickly say something, please, if you don't mind, please?
Okay, 1 minute, because we have to take a break and come back for rent. We have like 30 minutes.
Thank you very much. So, Bassey, the United Nations ruled that Bassey should be handed over to Cameroon. Abacha refused. Abacha sent troops there, removed the gendarmerie flag, Cameroonian flag, and hoisted ours, and said the Cameroonians should move back. It happened in my era, in our era, if we're all following politics. That was going against rule-based order. But it was national interest for Abacha. And we pushed Cameroon backwards. It happened in this lifetime. So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying Nigeria. Listen, if Nigeria had finish making my point. You only want to make your point. You can go ahead and make it. I won't interfere. The point I'm just trying to make is, if Nigeria is being responsible and grows and is sound and responsible in Africa, if we had a leader that wants to annex any part of Africa for whatever reason, we will be able to do it. Let's not delude ourselves. In international politics, if you have might, you control your hemisphere. And at some point, we did that responsibly as a nation. But let's not think if we have a rogue leader that has rogue interest, that Nigeria cannot become a rogue national, sub-national political force. It's possible. Let's always think that.
All right, thank you.
Frodo, can I quickly say before I leave?
1 minute, AY.
Yeah, okay, because I'm not gonna be here when they are doing this thing. So I just want to correct a couple.
All right, thank you. Frodo, can I quickly say before I leave? 1 minute, AY. Yeah, okay, because I'm not gonna be here when they are doing
Yeah, let me figure out who. I think it's Tony. Go ahead.
Yeah, the first thing I want to say, those of you that are saying, oh, let America come and take the oil. America have been taking Nigeria oil since the 60s. It's not new. ExxonMobil, Chevron, they belong to America. The American government don't come directly to take your oil. That's one. Chin, couple of stuff. The queen or the king as head of government of Canada is ceremonial, does not have any power whatsoever. The second thing is McCartney. I know you don't really like him. McCartney has been the most educated, the most experienced Canadian prime minister ever. McCartney has worked, McCartney has worked with the conservative government. He worked with Stevie Harper government. I don't know if you were there. McCartney was governor of Bank of Canada between 2008 and 2013. That is what I would call golden era of Canada. During McCartney, even Canadian dollar was higher than US dollar in most part of that year. Go and confirm. Most time, yeah, it was equal because of his experience. He's an Harvard trained economist, Oxford trained economist. Because of his experience, he was the first non-British citizen that became governor of Bank of England for 8 years. So, like you said, I want to, like you said, if you don't like somebody, does not mean you should discard them. McCartney is very experienced. Trust me, he's gonna change the face of Canada, and he's doing that. I just want to point that to you. What you said, like, oh, he's not a politician, does not make any sense. The guy that was contesting with McCartney lacked experience. He lacked proper education. I'm actually surprised there you go to Nigeria, you will say, no, we don't need politicians. I'm surprised. Please, let's say in one place. You are approving Trump where McCartney is standing is actually, I don't know what to say. One person was saying that he's corrupt. He was allowing Nigeria to bring money. Is he a policeman? You want him to, man, guys, please, let's stay on point. You can't compare Trump with McCartney. They are not. It's not a match for McCartney. Thank you.
Rudolph, before you go, McCartney renounces his British and Irish citizenship in early 2025. I live in Canada. You don't live in Canada.
No. Before he became,
early 2025.
Before he became governor of
my goodness, you're just contradicting yourself.
Tim, hold on. I'm not contradicting myself. Before he became governor of Bank of England, he was not a British citizen. Fact check me right now. He was not a British citizen. Fact check me right now. We have all the information there.
When did he become central bank governor of the UK?
Between 2013 and 2020.
All right, we have to.
I have all this.
Come back.
Doctor, please give me 30 seconds, please. I just need 30 seconds, please.
Okay, Paul, go ahead.
Doctor, see, I like what Dexter said and every other thing, but sometimes opportunity. I said something last week. I said we are not very educated people in Nigeria like we think we are. We are good managers. We know how to manage people's business, but we are not educated people in the sense that where we know what we are lacking, how do we go about it? We still don't have that road plan, that road map, I mean to say, and these are the things that is affecting us. For example, Atlanta is a city. I'm not talking the state of Georgia. Atlanta as a city is richer than the old southern state. Atlanta is richer than Alabama as a state, richer than Missouri, Mississippi as a state. Everybody goes there because of things are working there. These are the same thing. The Italians who come to America, when Italy were doing bad, they try to keep their culture. Over time, they lose it. They forget about it. They moved on because Italy did not do well. But when Italy started doing well, some of them started coming back again and take pride. I'm an Italian. and they don't even know how to speak Italian. You understand? Because many years, Italy also failed them as a people. So these are the things that we are going through now. Over time, when Nigerians do well, my children, my grandchildren will take pride again and say, I'm in Nigeria. But because today Nigeria is failing us, so sometimes let's not beat ourselves too hard. When the system is not conducive enough for business to strive, for things to work, people tend to leave. You understand? And every other thing. Very many of us have tried several things in Nigeria. It didn't work for us. You understand? But when Nigeria put things in proper perspective, I strongly believe things are going to work. And all these things that will beat ourselves too hard to say, oh, you are here, you are just criticizing. All of us here, we are here in the West, we are here in the West. The Americans, they come to my village where no light, mosquito and everything, and they will not go, even when they are coming from a comfort zone. That's a lie. That tell you that, which means that place may be comfortable for them. Like here is comfortable for me, but when the Americans come back home, they criticize Nigeria. So when we also stay here, we do the same thing too. We criticize the Americans, and sometimes we try to talk things that can also favor us. So if I talk things about Nigeria, people beat me hard. You are just there in America saying all those things. But if I also in America again, also criticize America again, people still beat me very hard again. Say, why don't you go back home? America is everywhere. Places that America have not been, I can bet you many of all those countries don't even have problems. It is where they go. That's where they start having problems.
All right. Thank you, Paul. We are going to take a break. When we come back, we are going to do the rants. We have about 20 minutes left for this show. And the winner of the rants, we get a copy, signed copy of my book. So we have a few copies that were bought by Tope and Show that we are going to give out on this show starting next week. But for today, we're going to give out one copy to whoever won if we agree on the winner. So you guys are watching with votes on who won the round.
Those of us that are in Nigeria, you people should parcel one copy.
I'm not the one deciding this. No, I have bigger people behind me who are telling me what to say. You want to see the earpiece where they're telling me what to say. So the person that will win will get a signed copy of the book. So let's take a break. We'll be right back with rants. All right, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for staying. I'm seeing new people joining us. Ngozika is here. Ngozika, welcome to the show. And I see Righteous Man down there. I will make sure everybody gets a chance to rant. All right, so let's start. I will, let's see who has not had a chance to speak in a long while. So let's start with you. Forefathers interference. You're first. You have 2 minutes to rant on any topic.
Okay.
For viewers, those watching at home, just write the person you think is the winner by the time we go around. 2 minutes. Your decision is the one that we're going to. I don't know if there's any moderator who is watching. Please, can you take the count? Don't be like Mahmoud Yakubu. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, somebody said something about they were complaining, saying, oh, okay, if Nigeria was as powerful, I think it was Dexter, then they would have probably invaded South Tome. While I do not agree with, just invading another country and taking over control of it, under normal circumstances, like I've always said, the whole Western Africa should be one and Nigeria should be in charge. Of course, we know these are not normal circumstances and it hasn't happened. But I hope in the future, Nigeria would be powerful enough, like it used to be, and be in charge of a united Western Africa, if not the whole of Africa, but at least that region itself. My fear now, again, which I hope we will discuss if Forefathers comes on, is that because of the desperation, because a lot of these things that are happening in the United States, I think everybody's trying to lose sight of the fact that most of it is also because Trump does not want the Epstein files out. And the more if there's nothing to talk about, then we will keep concentrating and asking for the Epstein file. So let's not lose sight of that a lot of these things that are happening are distractions. And in my estimation, based on what others are saying, I think we will be having another conflict in the Middle East, meaning they will attack Iran, which they wanted to, but they had to call it off. They already had the aircraft carriers on the way there, but reports are saying Israel was like, whoa, 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 you need to relax because we do not have the Patriot missile batteries, we don't have THAAD, and we don't have any sort of defense if Iran decides to attack, react to any potential attack. So I think in the coming weeks, we're going to have, I don't even think in the coming weeks, I think in the coming days, because Donald Trump also alluded to it, that there will be something happening in between the United States and Iran, and I think everybody should watch out for that.
All right, thank you for Father's interference. We'll go to Ngozika. We'll give you 2 minutes, but they said you won without speaking, so I don't know. Go ahead, 2 minutes.
I am taking the votes. Please keep me. I'll come back later. I'm taking the votes.
Okay, all right. Ngozika is taking the vote. So let's see. Oti, you have 2 minutes. You go ahead.
Pass. I don't rant.
You don't rant. All right, Chim, you go. You're next. Rant.
I don't know that I have a rant. All I just want to say is I think my response is more to AY. First and foremost, McCartney is not the most educated Canadian Prime Minister. It's on record. Before him, we had Stephen Harper, who not only has a bachelor's but also was an intellectual. The only difference between them is McCartney is an economist. You understand, and has had an international job exposure. Now, the other thing I wanted to remind AY is that whatever a central bank governor does on seat is usually a function of the government he's under. McCartney, though a liberal today, was a central bank governor under a conservative government. that had his own clear ideology of how he wanted to run the economy. So the success was not exactly entirely up to him, but entirely on the political guys who ran that economy and who gave him instructions on what he wanted to do. So I just wanted to remind him on that. I really don't have anything to rant about.
All right, thank you, Chim. Let's go to Paul. Paul, you are next.
Yeah, I touched in McCartney's small a little bit and about that. Why McCartney won the election is simple because person that is contested with was almost a MAGA. It was a puppet to Trump, and America don't like it. And Canadians don't like it. And I think it was good for Canada because if he had won over McCartney and when Trump entered power, started talking all these things that Canadian will be the 54th state, Canadian will probably be begging and it would have been tough and hard on Canadian, even when the people don't want it. Like the people of Greenland said, we don't want to be America. Keep your $100,000. People pay to become American, resident, citizen, whatever. America want to pay people. The people say, no, we don't want. I think that makes sense and everything. I'll quickly go back to my worry with what a righteous man said and everything because I'm from that region. The worry issue, I think, is clear. The people really like Obi. And like Tony said, if they will go back again, they will still want to vote for Obi. People might say the things that they want to say because Delta State right now is a little bit very, very confused. Omo Agege used to be the leader in APC who contest against Oborowori, the governor. Now Oborowori cross carpet and become the leader of APC. That's a problem. But before now, the godfather of Delta State politics that makes Delta State as a PDP state for a long time used to be Ibori. But somewhere along the line, Okowa had to fight back and say, come on, I'm more educated than James Ibori. I'm educated. I was a local government senator, commissioner, senator, and a governor, and everything. So why would I stood so low for Ibori? Ibori has enjoyed so much. Ibori literally make the former governor, I forgot his name, the one after Ibori, I forgot his name now, literally make him, and at the same time also make Okowa. So Okowa fight back and everything. So the state is confused when it comes to the PDP zone and everything. So just put together, they failed the people very well. So that's why Obi is still doing very well. Yeah, the young man in the street will not be happy the way Obi just accept everything in a subtle way like that. But I still think they'll still go for Obi if they didn't rig the election.
All right, thank you. Masca, 2 minutes.
All right, thank you, Mr. Rudolph Okonkwo. I want to join Otis Club to be a non-ranter, but though I want to use the time for two things. One, go back to Jim. I don't think there are some debates we should hold. I just Googled. It's clear that this, Kahneman has a PhD from Oxford. The Harper you're talking about has a master's from Calgary University. It should not be an argument. Even if you don't like the man, you should give him credit that he went to good school. That's number one. Number two, also, the same Chim, you said that Abacha refused, I can't remember what you said about Bakassi. I had wanted you to finish the story of Bakassi, to tell the people who are younger than us, to say that Nigeria willingly gave out Bakassi to Cameroon, so that we can all be fair. And lastly, I beg Ngozi, please, there are only 3 Nigerians on this platform. Anyhow, since you are the one taking the record, just make sure a Nigerian wins. I beg you. You are Nigerians in the end. So just, that's my rant. Thank you, Mr.
All right, Masca, thank you so much.
Will you eventually give me a right to respond to Masca later when everybody's done?
All right.
Thank you.
Who has now run? Hold on, I know. Let's go to Mazi Opara.
Yeah, Doctor, did any of us watch what happened in Morocco last weekend? We were talking about Africa. We love us. We have to do this. We are one Africa, Africanism. Look at what Moroccans did to Senegalese. Look at how they decimated their own fellow human beings. We're not talking about now Africa. Look at how that is I mean, when you watch some clips that are coming from Morocco against their fellow Africans, you spit on somebody who talks about Africa must do this, Africa must do that. You know, we are all one. No, we are not all one. They told us that we are not one, that we are Arabs, that we are monkeys and baboons. We should go back to our country. And after the march, go to the street of Morocco, how they are arresting black people like you and me in the same Africa. And we are here talking about one Africa. Look, today, go to South Africa. The South Africa, their police, the way they are hunting their fellow black people, you know, they are sending them back, looting their shops with their militias, looting their shops because they are not South African. This is the Africa we are fighting for. This is the one Africa, one big state we are fighting for. I mean, it's a sad one. Finally, did you anyone of you see Wike, Ganduje, Peter, all of them in London with their children graduation, right? And this is the people that they call you one night. Yeah, we love Nigeria. Nigeria must be this and that. But look at, they can't even train their children in Nigeria. They train their children in America, in England, with public fund. Shame.
All right, thank you, Mazapara. Righteous Man, you have 2 minutes.
Yeah. Once again, I am a fan of Trump, but this time around, I can tell you that Trump failed me. His actions against Maduro of Venezuela is unbecoming. I don't like it. And again, I want to believe that he executed the American policy. That's what I believe, that he executed American policy. Because as day goes by, you discover that the aim of doing what he did was to make sure that China and Russia suffer. So he doesn't want to go into military confrontation with these two countries. So he wants to do it by handling these countries that are within the American coast. You know, cutting them economically, the supply chain to China and Russia and to North Korea. That's what he's doing. So that's American policy. Then coming to Nigeria about P2B, I am telling you, see, it's like the man of color hates truth. I interviewed people in Owerri, the capital city of Imo State, and the view of the youth that I talked to was the same that what I received from the youth in Warri here, that Obi disappointed them. They are not saying they hate Obi or they will not vote, but the enthusiasm, that willingness, that anger to go and vote is no longer there. That does not mean that they hate Obi, but they say Obi disappointed them. And they might not come out to vote again in 2027. That does not mean that tomorrow, if they are being talked to, they will not change. So somebody is misquoting me. And I've told you in Warri here, I talked to a few people, and they resonate with what I heard from Owerri, that Obi disappointed them. Does not mean that they hate Obi. And I didn't say that Obi is not loved in Delta State. I never said so. So please, when we are interpreting, let's interpret the truth and let us face the reality that is on ground. You that is in abroad cannot know what is going on here than me that is in the city, in the street, talking to Nigerians one-on-one, feeling what they are feeling in the same environment. And you're over there, you are telling me that I'm not saying the truth. And you know that every publication is edited and censored before it's sent out. But I'm giving you first-hand information from the ground, from the city, from the street, from the road, from Keke Marwa, from Okada. So you better listen and believe the information than being whatever you choose to be in the way you see other people's contribution in this platform. Please, let's be matured. Thank you.
Thank you, Righteous Man.
Please, Doctor, I beg you. Righteous Man, I beg you, Doctor. Righteous Man, I am not criticizing anything you said. I support everything you say 100%. I only just take it up from where you said it. Everything you said is right. I didn't criticize anything. All I'm saying is that Delta State is confused with PDP, the way PDP is scattered to PDP, APC, and every other thing. What you said, you
My
are
brother, it's not
100%
you.
right.
It's those in comment section. It's not you.
Okay.
I'm referring
Okay.
to those in comment section.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Tony, you're next.
Yeah, my rant is going to focus on 2027, looking forward to what happens after these first 4 years of the this dispensation. If you have been very careful observing what is happening in Nigeria and the news, for me, it seems to me that there is a leadership vacuum. The insecurity problem in the country has worsened. All the statistics concerning inflation, profligacy, corruption, borrowing, and so on, and flip-flop by the government, lies and denialism, all of them point to one thing, that this government has become a disappointment and embarrassment to Nigerians and also to the international community. And so all the flies that we are having from within and outside Nigeria is because there's a smell, there's an infestation that is attracting flies all over the place. What do we do going forward? I listened to Dr. Hakim Baba Ahmed on one of the stations, and he said something that I find very germane. One of it is that if we want to rejig and restructure our political system the way it is, one thing that should be advised is for Asiwaju, who is nearly 90 years old, infirm, not strong, not articulate as he used to be, is to just say bye-bye after his first 4 terms, year 10. And second is for Atiku to be magnanimous and to say, I've been in this thing for years, I want to step down, I want now to be an elder statesman along with Tinubu to chart a new way forward for Nigeria. We need new blood, we need new initiative, we need people who have vision, we need people who are strategic to be able to deal with the problems, the myriad of problems that is facing Nigeria today. With Atiku and Tinubu in the saddle, I don't think there's a way. So and I agree with that. And I think that even though they have a constitutional right to run for office, I think in the greater interest of Nigerians, I think the two of them should stay away and let us chart a new way forward for our country. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Tony. Let's go to Dexter. Dexter, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Damages. Just first of all, I heard somebody here say something like the whole of West Africa should be one country. Alaska, I told you that a leader can come up and say he wants to annex Sao Tome. You were arguing with me. Somebody here just said that the whole of, think about, don't ever rule anything out. Don't rule anything out. Don't rule it out. Somebody just said the whole of West Africa should be one country and Nigeria should be the. Why is Ghana not?
In fact, I think the whole of Africa should actually be one.
Well, that's fine, but why is Ghana will be the head? Well,
include Morocco.
The point I'm making
Morocco and Nigeria.
And South Africa, everybody.
I claim my 30 seconds back. Good. Thank you guys for interrupting. So, So what I'm trying to say is that until your house is very clean, that's when you will understand the importance of telling people to keep their slippers outside and to keep their shoes outside before they come in. When your house is a very dirty house, you don't care. People come with what you don't care because it's dirty. You don't really care, but when your house is pristine and clean, people are coming with, please, keep your shoes outside, So what I'm saying is that we don't yet have the moral ground to say some things, as Nigerians, yes, because our house is not clean. So we need to go back and do the homework. That's why ambassadors like Paul, Tony, all of you are abroad, so that you will learn how they can keep the clean house. They come back home and now teach the Nigerians how to make a pristine place. And not just how to make it pristine, because it's not just about getting to the top of the tree. It's how to stay up there. You know, getting to the top is one thing. You have the drive, you know, you want to get to the top. But when you get up there, what do you do to stay up there? So that's what we need, not just how to get up there, how the drive will remain to stay up there. That's on one side. And on the side of politics, I think it's also important that, because politics is a form of leadership, it's a leadership selection process. And the middle class, people like us in Nigeria, they're not in Nigeria, we must start making conscious efforts to influence the younger generation into making the right choices of leadership. Because the truth about it is that if you follow what is happening in Nigeria today, you will shed tears. And in the midst of the hardship, you have people coming to gaslight people. Did you hear what Oshomole said? That if people can pay 20% tax in Nigeria, you know, look at, and let me tell you why it is very bad. There's a guy called Rotus. I respect him. He comes on Arise TV. And they are telling him that, look, the index for poverty, if you are earning less than $2 a day, you are a poor person. He said, why will you use why will you be using the dollar to baseline it? That's how will you be in Nigeria, and then you'll be using the dollar to baseline it. Is there a baseline for poverty in Nigeria? How are you going to compare? How can you make a comparative analysis if you're not going to use the... So why is it that in one breath, you want to claim the tax system of the UK, then in another breath, you don't want to claim their poverty threshold? You understand what I'm trying to say? So you have people like Omoshomole say, if people can pay 20% tax in the UK, why can't they pay it in? Look, we need to get those men out of... Look, the truth about it, there's a generation in Nigeria that don't have any business with power. They don't have any business. In 50 years, and look, I don't want to, it's not all of them, but there's a generation that their minds have been so bastardized that they do, you know, Shomoles of this will have no business. And people like us must make sure they don't get there. Since they say it's one man, one vote, we must start a move to make sure they don't get there. How can that man say that kind of thing? What is the hope for the granite seller? Thank you, Dr. Damages.
All right, thank you. Next, the final person.
Rudolph, can you give me 1 minute, please?
No,
Please,
please, not yet. Ngozika, go ahead.
Yeah, once she's done. Okay.
Ngozika.
Good evening, everyone. So my rant is very simple. It's about Eshu Speed's visit to Nigeria and how suddenly everybody is talking about Nigeria and the begging culture. And I just wanted to point out that Nigeria does not have a begging culture per se. What Nigeria has is a problem with order. We have a very big problem with orderliness. We're very anyhow people. You go somewhere, maybe to a supermarket to get something, and at the checkout counter, there is a queue, and you see somebody pressing to go for somebody that just joined the queue, and he's already making commotion. Okay, do my own. Why am I still here? You go to anything that has a queue. Nigerians want to jump the queue. Anything that requires due process, they want to bypass the due process. We're very disorderly people. Look at how he's going to every other African country, and people are behaving themselves. People are behaving themselves, minding their business, showing him what they want to show him about their country, promoting their country. Nigerians are just doing anyhow. They carried him, all this, it is us. They carried him to one of the celebrities' boutique. What is an American going to buy in a boutique that he can't buy in Nigeria, in USA? It's not even like you are selling African prints. You are selling Oyinbo man clothes, and Oyinbo came to Nigeria. You brought him to your shop to come and buy Oyinbo clothes, and you are disappointed he didn't buy anything. They carried him to, what is it called? To go to a gym to be interviewed by somebody that he's claimed to fame. He's telling women, that's massive. Make it clap, turn around and give the camera 360. That is all the guy knows how to say. He saw the guy, he was asking him, oh, how old are you? He said, I'm 21 years old. He said, oh, wow, Jesus Christ, you look so young. How is a 21-year-old person supposed to look? It is that anyhowness behavior, no plan, no coordination, no nothing, no cohesiveness, everything just cut and join. Boom, whoa. Okay, he's coming today. Let's carry him to Balogun. He's already gone to Balogun. Oh yeah, let's carry him to Zlatan shop. Oh yeah, seen Zlatan. Oh yeah, let's carry him to gym to go and see a Google. Just anyhowness. Look at Benin Republic. Look at the way those people are showcasing their country. Speed is having this time of his life there. He has gone to Liberia now. He's going to do the same thing. But when he came to Nigeria, it was pure chaos. And it's because Nigerians are anyhow people. And it will not end. And people are saying, oh, he has shown Nigerians nyash to the whole world. Oh, he hasn't done anything different. Nigerians nyash have been in front of the whole world for the longest time. We just don't care. We only care now because this one is a talking point. Give it a few more days and that one will pass and will come up with something else to talk about. But bottom line, we need to start addressing this lack of order in our life. It's become a pandemic and it's become something that is ingrained. To be a Nigerian is to be disorderly, and it is a big shame.
All right, thank you, Ngozika. I hope I covered everybody. You can now vote for who you think won, and that person will get a copy of my book, which is A Kiss That Never Was. I will come to, I think I'll come to Chim and forefathers to give them 1 minute each to say something. But after that, we have to go. I know there are people in the comment section who are looking for opportunity to come in. Our new policy is that 30 minutes before the show, before the end of the show, we are not letting people in so that we can. I'm already over the time by 12 minutes. So Chim, 1 minute.
All right. So first of all, what I want to address is the issue. I want us to remember where we're coming from so that we don't lose it. We're talking about if Nigeria can annex another nation. Why Nigeria will not do that? But it doesn't mean Nigeria cannot get to where it wants to do that. Might is usually right in international politics. So somebody was contesting whether Nigeria broke rule-based declaration. Nigeria was in a dispute over ownership of Bassey. We won't go to how that started, but the world authority responsible for making that rules that Bassey Peninsula be handed over to Cameroon. And Nigeria's government, which I supported at the time because as a Nigerian, I said, yes, let's not lose territory, refused. Let me read it for you. Yes, General Sani Abacha firmly resisted turning over the oil-rich Bassey Peninsula to Cameroon during his reign 1993 to 98. In response to a 1994 territorial claim, Abacha deployed the Nigerian army, initiated armed clashes, and formally designated the area as a local government area in 1996, maintaining strict control. But when a civilian government came under General Olusegun Obasanjo, it willfully decided to abide by the international rule and handed over the place to Cameroon. The point I was making is, just the way America goes around breaking rule-based agreements, Nigeria can also do that. Let's not delude ourselves. Right now, we are unable to do that because our military might is in question. But I can bet you, the day we come back to where we used to be pre-1986, when it all started falling apart under General Babangida and all that, Nigeria has put its foot down in Africa many times. As recent as when Sao Tome and Principe had a military coup, Obasanjo gave a directive to those coup people. He gave them 24 hours to reinstate the president there, or he will carry out military action. And they did that. So let nobody think that an organized Nigeria cannot suddenly wake up and want to control things. It can be done. Human beings are insatiable. There's no human being anywhere that is 100% safe. Give everybody the right dose of madness and you will see them operate. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Chim. Forefathers interference.
Thank you, Rudolph, for the extra time. Without getting into you and Masca's dispute, Chim, I think what you're arguing are apples and oranges. If you're saying, if the discussion was about Nigeria just unilaterally attacking, invading, then annexing a country, that's completely different from border disputes, which is what happened between Nigeria and Cameroon. And the same OBJ, if memory serves me, was also the one in 79 that actually gave Cameroon, without consulting the rest of the Nigerian government, handed Bassey over to Cameroon. And again, if we have to argue about, if we have to, you can hear me? If we have to discuss about the South.
You didn't hear me, that's what I said, but go ahead, I'm not going to disrupt you.
I don't know why you would think I didn't hear you, but if we have to dispute also the Sao Tome and Principe one, then you could argue, or we could argue, that Nigeria had a right to do that based on security. So that aside, that's between you and Masker. But with regards to Dexter, which is why I wanted to, I don't understand if we have comprehension issues or we just don't listen to each other. I started off, when I made my statement, I said, I would not subscribe to, not verbatim, but I said I would not subscribe to Nigeria annexing another country or invading another country. But I would support that if we could somehow be in charge of a West African country, which in fact, my position is that Africa cannot rise independently on its own, which is why they fragmented us into these little countries. But the moment we come together where we have ease of transportation, ease of movement, a joint economy, joint defense, Africa is going to rise. I don't see what was wrong in what I said.
All right. Thank you so much. We bring back Ngozika to give us the tally and who won, and then we end the show.
Doctor, is it possible for me to just chip in one word?
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. I think I agree with Chim in his analysis concerning, how we use power for national interest. And I think that I speak the truth also say part of it when he talked about Sao Tome and Principe. There is also an example that we can draw. When South Africa, under apartheid, was coming very close to us, that was Equatorial Guinea. Nigeria threatened that it was going to invade Equatorial Guinea if Equatorial Guinea did not stop the relationship that he had with, or he was developing with the apartheid South Africa. This was a question of national interest because Nigeria was opposed to apartheid in South Africa and did everything, to take off that regime, and dismantle that system. So I think Chib is right in saying that most of the time your national interest comes first. And it's not about morality, it's about, what your country, what is your security of a country and, your national interest. I just wanted to chip in that.
All right, thank you, Tony. All right, the time we're waiting for, let's hear Ngozika's tally and know whether she's like Mahmoud, Yusuf Mahmoud. All right, Ngozika, tell us the winner.
I am nothing like Mahmoud Yakubu in Jesus' name. I'm nothing like him. So totally, we have Dexter. Dexter has 6 votes. Paul has 1. Chim has 4. Maziopara has 1. Tony has 1. And Righteous Man has 4. The rest have none. I didn't count my own because I removed myself since I'm the umpire. So given this, Dexter won the rant.
All right, Dexter, congrats. So Dexter, you can give me your contacts on the private chat.
Mr. Rudolph, we are going to court on this.
And by the way, Dexter also live in the abroad. Dexter also live in the abroad.
Let those of us in the platform vote.
The runner-up is Mr. Righteous Man. Dexter has 6 votes. Mr. Righteous Man has 4. Chim too has 4. So,
all right.
Dexter and Chim are disqualified.
No, we didn't say anybody. We didn't remove people who are abroad. So that's how we get it. Next week we are going to roll out a system, where we give out the copies that were bought by Tope and show we are going to give out to people. So there will be more chances for people in the comment section, people who are watching at home to win. So don't worry. let me thank people that supported us today, and then we round up the show. Really, I want to thank you for your support. Brick House Capital, thank you so much. AI Village Creation, thank you. We appreciate you. One Man, thank you. And I think there's Oscar Black. Thank you so much for supporting us. I all of you. And there's a new show coming up for those who want to continue the conversation. Forefathers is coming up with another show. Thank you, Ngozuka, for being here. Thank you, Tony, for being here. Thank you, Righteous Man. Thank you, Forefathers Interference. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Maska. Thank you, Chim. And thank you, Dexter, for being here. Tomorrow, again, reminding you, we're going to have the cartoonist, Mike Asoko, joining us. And next week's time, we're going to have Professor join us. Again, thank you for those watching at home, those on the comment section. I appreciate all of you. I will see you tomorrow on 90 Minutes Africa.
Doctor, real quick, you asked me about Kemi Oluloyo. So Kemi Oluloyo is like one man went to Mo. They work together at par.
All right, thank you.
Tó fẹ́ kú torí ẹ̀ o. Ọwọ́ ẹni ló ti ṣàánú kọ́. Ayé la fi sílẹ̀ sí. Lọ́nà èyí yóò.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Have you subscribed? Yes, you. Have you subscribed? You. Yeah, before you go, click. It's free. Click. Just that's it. Have you subscribed? You're laughing. Have you subscribed? Have you subscribed? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, madam. Thank you so much. I can see you. I can see you. We have to get to 100,000 subscribers. By the end of the year, how are we going to do that if you don't subscribe? Yes, you. Yes, you're about to click off. Why? Have you subscribed? It's free. If you don't, ask your son, ask your daughter how to. Just one click. Thank you. Thank you. I see you. Aha. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So me ala teme, so me piki go teme, or I me ala teme, Ala woloma o, he go in the river o. Ala woloma, he go in the river, he go in the river. I like that, yeah, yeah.